two. Check 1 2. We got special guest in here. Special guest who I've known for a bit here. He's a great engineer, great mixing engineer, great tracking, especially great tracking engineer. Um, and I'm just really proud of how he's doing in the industry. Or, when I say industry, I mean audio engineering industry or mixing industry or tracking industry. But I'm just really proud of you, bro. You're doing well and keep doing what you're doing. And today we got guest Don Dwizzle, or just Don. How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's talk about your accolades first here. Um, and you don't have to go into, all of it, but what made you want to start, producing, writing songs, engineering? What gave you that itch?
All right, so I guess it starts way back when I was just a kid. I always found myself worrying about the quality of audio. So, like, for example, I'm 4 years old in my dad's truck, and I'm asking him, "Can you turn up the treble and bass?" Without even realizing, like I'm worried about the quality of audio at such a young age. So I always think about that moment when I got into engineering and realized that the love for the quality was something that I geared towards. So it took a couple years for me to realize that I could actually have a career in it. So I went to a few different schools, one being Crass, which was in Arizona, and that kind of kickstarted my engineering professionally. But before that, I was also engineering myself at home. I was learning from YouTube. I was going to studios, just asking the engineers questions, like why you touching this fader, why you pressing this, why you doing that, and that's basically how it started. But I also was making my own music, so me rapping, I also fell in love with the engineering because I wanted myself to sound good. I wanted to be able to tell the engineer what I want, but I just didn't know how to say it. So taught myself how to engineer, downloaded Pro Tools, downloaded whatever I needed, and just took off from there. And then after Crash, got an internship at Quad Studios, which is in New York City, and that's where the real test happened. That's where I got my real clients, real everything, real life sessions, real life songs that are like on charts right now. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, that's a great story there. Do you think it's worth going to school nowadays with all these, YouTube videos and free tutorials and techniques and all these mixed boards? Is it worth it or is it not worth
Negative. I, I
it?
but I say that, but you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry.
Hmm, hmm.
And the reason I say that is because school, they're telling you what to learn. What they're telling you, okay, go practice this, go practice that. But if you're not in school, you have to tell yourself, okay, I got to go practice this. I got to go do that. No one's grading me on this assignment. I have to basically grade myself, so and I feel like a lot of skills nowadays to get your foot in the door doesn't require school. But
Hmm.
once you get into those rooms, like you just have to like show that you love what you're doing.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't matter if this first day in the room, if you say something that somebody likes, they're gonna look at you differently and they're gonna see like, okay, you really want to be here. You know, they could tell who really wants to be there. And you being in those rooms consistently, then you're gonna keep learning, build clientele. Your name's gonna float around. Engineer might not be available, but they remember your name. Oh, you're gonna sub in. Once you sub in, you have your first client, and it just keeps going.
Hmm.
And but it all starts with just trying to get your name out there.
Hmm.
So I would say school isn't needed, but I am thankful for Crash because they did put me on an internship,
Hmm.
which was like I skipped a lot of steps to get into quad,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was a blessing in disguise, for real.
Right, right. And I would agree. I would agree. I would say schooling is needed. You can, do the YouTube University or do it independently or, the non or the informal way. There's formal, there's informal. But you know, my belief system will be, if you're passionate about something and you want to be really good at something, you should take each outlet to educate yourself and get good at it, whether it be schooling, whether it be self-taught, whether it be going to the moon, go, you know, whatever you got to do to get where you need to get or be the best, you know, and in this case, producer, mix engineer, tracking engineer, mastering engineer, you do that. But I want to talk about this off the whim here in terms of mastering. And I respect a lot of mastering engineers because they have a hefty job there. There's not really a lot of schooling or schools or even, you know, even within craft that, in my opinion, we didn't really get too involved with that. So when it came to mastering, because I do master people's stuff too, and I am a mastering engineer, mainly a mix engineer, but I'm, you know, I can master too. But there's not really a lot of stuff out there in terms of schooling that dedicates, you know, to the mastering field. Would you agree or no to that?
100%. I definitely agree, and that's why I want to bring back the point of like, just try to get your foot in the door and get in those rooms. That's that's how you're gonna learn. You gotta ask questions, show that you want to be there, and that's how, you know, some mastering engineer might give you a little sauce here and there, you know. So and I feel like school kind of expects you to do that.
Yeah.
They expect you to, all right, you got to put yourself out there. You're gonna have to learn it. We can't teach you, which kind of sucks and kind of doesn't at the same time, because it shows how hungry you are.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like back and forth on that point.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. But there's so many techniques in the mastering field. I'll say that as a mastering engineer, like, it's just so many unique things and stuff. People think, oh, okay, you just send this file. I'll leave about 6 dB of headroom or 2 dB or whatever, and he's just going to make it, or she's going to make it louder and lighter and have more, you know, punch or whatever. There's so many things they have to do, and their ear, the mastering engineer, their ear has to be on point.
Top notch. That's next level.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm not there, but whoever's there, like, y'all are gods, man. Y'all are gods.
Right. And then they have to deal with the, you know, the mastering notes. They have to, you know, whatever this, you know, the session is, or whatever the fucking, I'm trying not to cuss, excuse me, whatever the record industry is implicating to do, they have to go by it to a T. It might sound this way to them, but it might, you know, oh, we want it to da da da. You have to abide by that. Now, there's ways to get around that. There is, but you know, if somebody knows what they want and hears what they want, you know, you have to be careful with that. But the mastering thing is very interesting. Also, too, like with mastering, I don't know if you all know this, but if I'm mastering an album, I need to make sure each track flows. It fades out, fades in. You know, there's so many things they have to do. And each track has to either be at the same level, or maybe they want track 8 and 7 to be, you know, not as loud. You have to, you know, it's very technical. It's very, very technical. It's not just making things louder and, you know, hitting at negative 9 lufs. And
there's a lot of science behind it, which is like another reason why I fell in love with like engineering, because people don't understand the science that's going behind something as simple as audio. Like, and it's crazy because it's also psychological. It also, you know, a mastering engineer can do things to determine the listener's mood,
right,
or determine how they feel for the day. And that's a little deep, you know.
Go there, because sound could be used for warfare. It can be used for healing. You know, let's go there. Let's talk about it.
Could be used for movement, but you know,
right. So
it's not just a computer and audio. Like, this is
zeros and ones. Yeah, it's not just zeros and ones. Yeah.
This is next level.
Yeah. Sound is then you have your, you know, frequency. You have should it be 432? Should it be 470? Should it be 560? Some people will say this frequency harms the body. This frequency heals it. You know, people say, oh, this frequency set here, so each time we listen to these tracks, it's harming us. You know, is that true?
I feel like that's just the outer show.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to see a lot of that more. And, you know, I feel like once you start to see a lot of something more, there's always something just deeper. So
right.
I'm starting to see a lot of these 432 videos and stuff. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nah,
Mm-hmm.
it gets deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Don and I, we can change that. We have as scientists, because we are scientists, or as engineers, we can change that. We can dictate that. Not a lot of people can go, okay, hey, well, that's 432, that's 532. A lot of people don't know that, so we can go on there and do certain things without these people knowing it or not. So we have the ability to do that. So people talk about, oh, these artists are talking about this all the time, or they're saying these bad things, but we can help things out a little bit if we choose to, if we're aware of that. That is
Correct.
So
It's almost like a secret power.
Dude, really.
Think about like a song you master yourself without any notes or anything,
mm-hmm.
and it's playing in an arena.
Mm-hmm.
You can somehow control that whole arena. Like
facts
facts behind the screen.
I mean, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with G.I. Joe, where the guy you never see that's in a chair with the cat, like you never see him. Yeah, that's us, pretty that's us. Even doing like a delay throw, that can cause a certain emotion. A delay throw can make somebody like, oh, here comes that part, or here comes and you just want to just burst, that things like that are very important.
You know how many times I'll recite ad libs instead of like the lead vocal, just because they stand out, and like some songs, like I'll just remember them because of that certain ad lib or that certain background vocal. Like it's just amazing. It gets deep.
No, it gets, hey man, talk your talk, man. It gets, we and that's another reason why when I met Don, like we can go there. I'm not going to get into none of that right now, but we can, and he's he's fully aware, which is good. But yeah, so that's good. So Crass, like you were younger, you saw the receivers, the preamps, the EQs. You said, okay, hey, turn this down, turn this up. Okay. What made you want to start recording? What artists did you like? I know one artist that you've talked about in the past, and rest in peace to him, that you like, but what artists that made you want to go out there and buy an interface and microphone and say, I'm gonna start recording? What person made you do that, per se? Or was it just you?
I feel like it was just me, honestly. It was definitely just me. And I say that because I remember back in like 4th, 5th grade, I had a friend, and like we would just be freestyling at lunch, right? Just having some fun. And then
right.
It just turned out like, yo, I think I could record my voice through the laptop. Like we holding up the laptop and like talking into the like 4th, 5th grade,
Right.
It started then, and obviously we just brushed it off, whatever, and then it's crazy how life's a circle back. So then around like my first year, I went to like a few different colleges. My first year of college, I was like, one day I was like, I'm gonna try to make a song. Like, why not? So I bought a little $15 mic off Amazon.
Oh shit! Right.
Downloaded whatever was free, which was FL Studio for me at the time. And like I'm holding a mic with my hand, I'm talking in it. Everything's off beat. I sound like trash, but I made a song. And like just that gut feeling, like it just felt crazy. Like I couldn't wait for people to hear it, even though it was trash. It was excitement. It was excitement. So I just kept chasing that excitement.
Right.
And eventually I uploaded the song, but before I click upload, I knew that once I click upload, I can't stop. So I sat hovering that button for like 30 minutes, and I just pressed it, and then since then just everything just kept going up.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's what's up. In terms of, because these are one of my questions, and I'm like I said to you, I'm mainly a mixing engineer, and I'm definitely a gear head. That's why my channel, or the channel, is called It Is the Gear and Ear. Some engineers might say, oh, it's just the ear. You don't need to have this analog equipment. You don't need to have an actual LA2A or LA3A or CL1B or whatever, 2Tech. You don't have to have that. Well, the thing is, that's partially correct, but with anything that you're doing professionally, and when I say professionally, that you want to take to the highest level in terms of sound, in terms of width, transients, harmonics, such things like that, a plugin is not going to give you that real thing. So this is why I say it is the ear and gear. And a lot of these, I'm gonna say this too. Some people may or may not like this, but a lot of these engineers that are especially popular, whatever, they're sponsored by these companies. Like, I'll name their names to push these plugins on you. Some are great, some are not good at all. Some are just actually making your mix sound even worse, more cloudy. They're taking up RAM. And it's another thing too. With all these plugins and stuff that you have in these sessions, they're taking up RAM. They're adding certain EQ points on it. Even when you enable it or on a send track or insert it there, if you look at certain plugins like Doctor plugin, whatever, it'll show you the EQ curve. It'll show you what it's doing. So some of these plugins, and I'm talking about the non-analog emulated ones or non-analog ones, they'll add these weird EQ points. Just by enabling in there, that'll just make your mix sound crazy. So you have to know what you're doing. You have to do a null test. And you really have to be careful with that. With analog gear, yes, you can't recall it. Well, I can recall it. Don can recall it. But yes, it's harder to recall it. But it just sounds better. I'm not against plugins because I love plugins, but I'm more of a hybrid mixer. If I can have a console, I don't have a console. But if I had an SSL K or something like that, and then everything else combined with the plugins and stuff, I would use both. And there's a reason why I work like that. I want to have that full, wide, non-digital sound. And digital is very. I'm gonna see how because this is a question I have here too. I'm just going to my rant here about plugins and all that. But digital is very harsh, and it introduces a lot of high frequencies and a lot of harshness you don't need in comparison to analog. So there's another reason why. Yeah. So I can hear some people go, well, you can't tell. I can hear a digital mix versus an analog mix immediately. So what's your take on the whole analog digital domain and what's better, what's not better, what's convenient? Is it needed? Is it not needed? What's your take on that?
I believe it comes down again to the love for it. So if you're an engineer that just, let's say, just wants to get some money,
right?
I feel like that type of engineer just does not care as long as the artist is happy.
Yeah,
the artist is happy with what they can go show their friends. So compared to an engineer that's actually in there for the love and will do a lot of free work, because I've seen a lot of engineers do a lot of free work just to get to that one spot. Shout out to them, by the way. So yeah, compared to an engineer like that, then it comes down to, all right, they probably prefer analog, which is something I prefer as well. However, my home setup is only digital, so when I go by like other studios, then I'll take advantage of the gear for real.
Right.
And, or I even go to like other mixing engineers because, again, tracking is like my specialty. I don't really trust myself to mix my own work. I like seeing other people's ideas and hearing things that I could do differently and stuff like that. So I am pro analog, 100%.
Got it.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a lot more freedom as well.
Yeah.
And it's just the quality is just like night and day. Like you could just hear the difference, night and day.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm thank you. I'm not gonna be, especially when my sponsorship gets up there. I'm not gonna be pulling the wool over you guys and gals' head about this. I want to say, here's good plugins, here's not. Like, for example, I love Plugin Alliance. That package there, Plugin Alliance. Hey, we'll take that sponsor. UA stuff, Softtube, people like that. And there's more too. I can't think of all of them right now, but there's some great plugin companies and great plugins out there. But to sit here and say, oh, you don't need the console, you don't need these reverb racks and delay racks, you don't need these compressor racks, EQ racks, preamps. It's like, huh? Like, yes, you do.
But
Yes, yes, you
I
do.
also want, sorry, I also want to add,
Go.
in terms, I've been in, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like I've been in situations where I will skip the gear, but
Okay.
that's because it's just the artist I'm working with. You know,
Right.
like I could tell this artist as soon as they come in, they're in the booth. I'm not even ready. They're in the booth.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm,
Right. Right. Right.
I'm not patching nothing. We just going straight. So
Right. Right.
and we'll do like 7 songs, and
Okay.
they're happy. And they're happy. You know, they come back. I'm not gonna be the one to mix it, but they come back. They remember me. They might put my name with other artists that they know. They'd be like, "Oh, work with him. He's fast. Work with him. He's good." Like
Hmm. Hmm.
stuff like that. So there's times where I skip the gear. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
for sure.
Now, when you say skip the gear, do you mean like you're going from mic to pre to the tape or Pro Tools? That is.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Okay.
straight, just
Okay.
straight. I'm not patching nothing. I'm not doing nothing extra.
Okay.
I'm not asking, "Do you want this?" I'm not asking.
Hmm.
And but some artists do come in and be like, "Can you patch this for me?" And
Right. Right.
I gain a lot of respect right there.
Right. 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 Right.
And they'll look at the gear and be like, "Nah, can you patch this into this into that?" I'm like,
Mm,
I
right.
got
Right.
you, I got you."
Right. Uh huh. Hmm. Yeah, Don knows I'm an analog head, but I'm a hybrid. I work with both, and that was one of my other questions too. In terms of your ultimate vocal chain for yourself and for people you worked with or tracked, what is it?
Well, for tracking, I'm using the same thing that you could find on YouTube. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm keeping it very simple, just waves, because my goal is to just get the song back to the artist.
Okay.
I'm not worried about going in depth mixing, as long as, because again, most artists think loudness equals it's better.
Right.
So,
Right.
so, so
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I take advantage of that.
Right.
I send it back to them. It's loud on their phone. They be like, "Yo, I'm booking you again," and that's how I'm gonna put food on the table. So
Right.
you know, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't do that. So yeah, my tempo is very simple. Like
Hmm.
I have like basically no latency here. As you can see, I have like no latency. I'm not using nothing heavy.
Yeah.
This is all waves.
Now is that a
And
vocal bus there? You have like that's your vocal bus. Everything is routed to that, some to that, if you will.
yeah, so
Okay.
actually I'll go over these few tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So monitor, this is just to test my levels. I have a meter on here.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
y'all
so
take
that's just
notes. Y'all take notes here.
mixed bus. Like again, like I said, I'm not mixing to the T. I'm just mixing regular to get it to the car. So I have a SSL comp here just to tame some stuff, and then I use a Pro L on the transparent mode,
Okay.
and I also can see my loudness also here as well.
Yeah, great plugin, by the way.
And that's about it. And if I need more sharpness in the whole mix, really using the EQ7 band, stock EQ7 band.
Now I know what you mean. Let me cut you. I know what you mean by sharpness. Can you explain to the people out
Yeah.
there what sharpness means?
Okay, so let's say I just want it to sound more clear, like you're throwing air into the mix. I would basically just go to this last band right here and just boost around like 7 or 8K, and that's it, just to get the song back to the artist.
So that's like a high shelf.
Yeah, basically that's a
Yeah.
high shelf. Yep.
Yeah.
And I also have a all vocal bus, which is all my vocals are going here, and I have 2 Pro Qs here. One is a high shelf again,
Okay.
but this also depends on the artist. Sometimes I don't use nothing. It depends on the artist.
Okay.
This is just some attenuation I'm doing along the vocal. You know, some frequencies might stand out too much.
Is that multi-band compression right there?
Yeah, so I am
Okay.
doing, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
And that's a great. I'm sorry. That's a great feature in the FabFilter Q3. I just got not just got. I got the Q4. I think last year when it came out, I got it. And I got the updated price, which is kind of too much. But anyway, the 4 is even better now. It has like its own like harshness features, like Soothe too. By the way, by that one company, I forgot the name, but yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
yeah, so that's just basic stuff. All effects, all music. I don't really touch these. And keep in mind, since I'm tracking 99% of the time, we're dealing with 2 track beats,
Right.
which is when all the beat is summed into left and right. So I have the S1 image here just to spread it out if I need to,
Okay.
and that's about it. And
Now,
then
now, why would you want to make the 2 track or that particular whatever wider? Why would you? And how do you make sure it's not getting out of phase? And are you checking the mono compatibility? Like how are you doing this?
well, the reason why I'm doing that is because sometimes it gives the artist like a little more feeling that, oh, it sounds wider, it sounds better. So when I blast it in the studio, like they just start going crazy. And
Right.
honestly, that's what I'm looking for, because I want them to come back so
Right.
that I could feed my family.
Right.
I'm keeping it a buck.
Right. Hey, talk your talk, brother. Talk
And
your talk. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have my vocals separate, so it could also make room for the vocal as well.
Right. Right.
So everything is not just in the middle. The music is like this, the vocals right here. So
Right. 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 Right.
it just gives a little more space. And this is where all my lead vocals are going. So
Right.
I'll start with this. This is an EQ that I got from Corey Cutts,
Okay.
famous engineer. However, I tweak this depending on the artist. So
Right.
all these notches here are not 100%. So
Right.
once I hear the vocal, then I'll go in here and tweak is what I need to tweak.
Right.
So
And when you say all those notches are not 100%, it depends on the room, the microphone, the artist, the vocalist, the preamp, all those kind of things like that. You just for you all that do not know, it's like what all fixed EQ is not going to work on all sessions.
yeah,
Yeah.
never, never,
Yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah.
So then after that, I just have a RVox just to bring everything a little up to the front. Basic stuff. This is all you can find all this on YouTube.
Hey, waves. Hey.
There's
Hey.
no excuse. Like
Yeah.
there's no excuse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a G channel here, just boosting a little bit of highs
Okay, okay.
and doing some filtering. I had to split because I wanted before everything else.
Right.
Another compressor here. I have this Pultec. I'm boosting a lot of highs here. I like the way it boosts the highs. I'm
Okay.
boosting 12K a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
Again, depending on the artist, but most of the time I never have to touch this.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And obviously we need a de-esser to tame those harshness.
Right.
This is my final Pro Q here,
Okay.
which is where the only thing I'm doing here is subtraction. And by
Okay.
subtraction, I mean I'm taking out anything harsh.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll basically scan, see what I don't like, and I'll just bring it down. And I can also make it dynamic
Mm-hmm.
so that it's not taking out all the time, only when I need it to.
Right. Right.
And if you go down here, this is where the 2-track will go.
Okay.
So I'll literally just drag it in here, and I have a Pro Q to tame, because a lot of these YouTube beats are crazy.
Facts.
Crazy. So
Facts on top of facts.
I am taking out a lot. Most of the time the EQ would look like this,
Okay. Okay.
because I'm trying to make room for the vocal.
Right.
So
Right.
you know that 808s like out the roof.
Right. Right.
I'm ducking that down with some dynamics, and then just anything else I find harsh, mostly around here, because this is where the vocal would sit a lot.
Right.
So I would just take that, and then that's just there. It looks cool.
Right.
And then auto key here. This is a much needed thing. If an artist is coming into the studio and they want to work, you got to make sure you get the key as fast as you can, because
Right.
if they get on that mic and that key is not right, they will kick you out.
Right. Right. Right.
So I use this to find the key. I also hit listen twice, because it'll give you an answer the first time, but to make sure, I always hit it twice.
Take notes. Take notes, y'all. Take notes. Take notes.
That should be changing. Oh, I didn't mean to curse. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
And just hit send to auto tune right here,
Right.
and you're good to go.
Right. Right.
And also, most artists will know how they want their auto tune, if they want a lot or not as much.
Right.
But always ask them. So most of the time I'm dealing with 0-0, which is 0 retune speed,
Right.
or humanize.
Right.
And a lot of artists are able to use this, and you could barely tell they have auto tune, like, because they just know how to use their voice with it.
Right.
Which is which is very cool. I like that fact about some artists. Like you can't even tell they have auto-tune on.
Right, right.
So this is my record track. You would just input your mic here, make sure you have a signal.
Hmm.
30 minutes an hour before the artist comes, make sure you have signal, please.
Right, right.
Make sure everything is good at least 2 hours before, whatever.
Hmm.
And these are my lead tracks, which is where I'll drag all the takes down. So I have the auto tune on each track, of course.
Now I'm going to stop you there. So I've seen Don in the flesh do this right here, and he taught me some great techniques and stuff like that. With tracking, and he's really good under pressure. He's really fast. He's really efficient. He knows what he's doing. So, and that's another thing with some of these schools, or a lot of these schools, in terms even in the country field, even in the rock field, even in the pop field, not just for rap and hip hop. You have to be able to know how to do this very, very, very efficiently. Very efficient, that is. But when it comes to rap and hip hop, a lot of these artists want you to record them like you are a speed demon. And
yeah,
this guy you're looking at right here does that very well. But yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
So but you can't hear audio on Pro Tools, right?
Yes, yes, but I have to put it in. Well, yeah, I think it'll be okay.
No,
yeah,
I'm not trying to get audio. I'm just
okay.
asking.
Yeah, no.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna just give an example real quick. So let's say the artist sends you a beat.
Right.
Most of the time they'll airdrop it. So let me just get a beat real quick. And it's little things like this that make you a good engineer. So
yes,
this is the window you see before you upload the audio, right?
Right.
So as you can see, my clip list isn't showing. So I have to click this arrow down here for it to show.
Mm-hmm.
So I could upload the track as a new track, or I can do clip list and just drag it into my beat track.
Right.
So my pointer finger is on enter right now because it's going to click OK for clip list.
Right.
So that means my mouse is already at this arrow.
Right.
So I'm saving 1 second from clicking OK here and then going back down here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey,
So,
my bad. Keep my bad. Keep that mind frame there. When we were going through schooling here, we had to do there was like, what they call it down. It was the Pro Tools
like the proficiency thing.
Yeah.
And
literally there was like a test. I don't know if it was part 4 or 5 or something like that. It might have been part 4. Was it? I can't remember. But we had to know about 100 and something quick keys and key commands in Pro Tools, and literally we knew all of them. We knew all of them. I don't remember all of them. We'll talk about that too throughout the episode here. But yeah. But my bad. Go ahead.
Now that you mentioned that, I just want to say before I forget, you don't need to know all of them.
Right.
You don't need to know.
Right. But we knew all of them.
Yeah,
we knew all.
Yeah, that was like the back of our hand, bro.
Facts.
All right, so I'm gonna press enter, and as soon as I press enter, I'm gonna click my clip list, and the beat is right here, and I drag it right here.
Okay. Now, can I mention, and this should work when you bring that in. You can just hit, if you have the AZ there that's actually enabled in the session there. You can just hit Y. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I knew that was coming. Yep.
Yeah.
So if let's say you're too zoomed in or whatever, you could just hit Y. But since I'm zoomed out, I could also just drag.
Yeah. Facts.
And also one thing I learned is to make your waveform bigger, which is by holding Shift Option and scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be silence that you want to trim out. And the reason that is so that the tempo will be on point.
Mm-hmm.
So I will tap to translate by hitting tab, and you see my cursors here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I hit A to take that out. Select my audio, hit Y again.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, take notes, y'all. Go ahead.
And then that's it. So now your track is ready to go. If you want, you could add a fade in the beginning. I just worry about that at the end. Whatever. Then you get your tempo. Now, in a session, most of the time you're not gonna have time to count the tempo.
Right.
But however, to pass the test at quad, I had to learn to do that. But after that, we start using Mixed Key. So you just upload the audio to Mixed Key, you get the key and the tempo right there.
Okay.
And make sure you're doing that like as soon as you download that beat from YouTube, within less than 5 seconds, it should be in Mixed Key already.
Mhm.
While Mixed Key is processing, you should be on Pro Tools getting your session ready, making sure everything is good.
Mhm.
So
have you ever done the identity beat thing where you take a section of it, you might, take a snare or a kick drum and you loop it and you, I think it's Command I, and within Pro Tools, it'll give you the template. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. So basically, but we didn't have to I didn't cut nothing. I would just start at a transient.
Okay.
And just count like 4 beats.
Right.
Then hit Command I, select that. Well, first you have to break the audio.
Okay.
So I'll break it at a transient.
Okay.
Break it at the 4th beat.
Right.
Then select the audio that I broke.
Right.
Then hit Command I on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure that I set it to be like, okay, where my cursor is, that's beat 1. Where I ended is beat 5.
Right.
When you hit enter, it's gonna automatically put the tempo up for you. However, it's not gonna round it for you.
Right.
So make sure you round either up or down depending on what the decimal is.
Right.
And basically that's how you start. That's how when you fly hooks, when you fly certain lines, or they want to extend the beat, it's just going to be like this.
Right. Right.
There was one time an engineer did not trim the beginning of the beat, the silence.
Mm-hmm.
When they're flying the hook, it was never working.
Mm.
They called me in,
mm-hmm.
like, yo, can you fix this?
Mm-hmm.
And I did it in like 2 seconds because I already knew that was a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that engineer got kicked off.
Mm.
He just lost the client, and I gained the client because I just knew that simple thing. So I mean it when they say they will kick you out these rooms.
Facts.
So just scrolling down here, just my dub track. Some artists like to do in and outs, which is when they pronounce the same word again to just give a little more emphasis on the word. Sometimes it's not needed, sometimes it is. It depends on the artist. Have my ad lib tracks here, and I also do have my reverb directly on this track.
Okay.
And
great plugin.
Yeah, I did this. I saw Corey Cuss did it one time, and I asked him, I was like, "Why'd you do that?" And he was like, "It sounds good." Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? Let me try it. There's no rules. There's not really any rules. Just try it. So I did it, and I liked it. So you don't always have to send. I mean, because usually, obviously, you send reverb and time-based effects, but
right,
just slapped it right on there. Just turn the mix down, of course. And I liked it, so I kept it. These are all my sends here.
Okay.
All my reverbs, my doubler is just so to make the vocal sound a little thicker.
Right.
Parallel compression, of course.
Now, do you keep your P comp or your parallel compression on pre, or you just keep it non-pre?
No, I just keep it non-pre.
Okay.
And then my reverbs here, I have 4 reverbs. I have one that's like huge, then I have a little less. I'm trying to make it simple. So I have one that's enormous, one that's huge, one that's medium, and then one that's small, which is a plate.
Right.
And I just blend them in depending on the song, because some people want their song to sound spacey and vibey, stuff like that. So it depends on the artist as well.
Right.
These are my delays here, of course, and a click track. And the reason why I have a click track is because after you get that tempo, you have to check. So you hit number 7 on your numerical keyboard.
Yes, sir.
Click track will play. Just do a little, make sure it sounds on beat for a little bit and take it off, because then the artist will be like, "What's that?"
Right.
So I'll do a quick little demonstration here. Let's say I start recording. So I'll hit Command Spacebar. I feel like that's the best way to go.
Okay. Not numeric 3.
No, because you have to take your hand off the mouse. I'm trying to keep my hand on the mouse all the time. So it'll be easier once I start. So let's say I record. They like that line. They'll say, most artists say keep that. Most artists don't say nothing.
Right.
Most artists take breaks between each line and they want to keep going.
Right. 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 Right.
So
Right.
it's your job as an engineer to know, just read the room, read their vibe, read how they record, you just got to read everything and know when to stop, because you might stop and they might be saying a word at the same time and that word gets cut off.
Mhm.
And like, if an artist can't do the same take over, which kind of sucks, because it's like, if you are an artist, you should be able to do it 10 times in a row.
Right.
Some artists can't, so they will get mad at you. So let's say they like this take, I'll bring it down, I'll make my way from bring it here.
Now, question. We've talked about this before. I'm gonna put it in the riddle: to control or not to control, from what you just did.
This I didn't do control because my waveform already started at the end here. So
Gotcha.
I can't, if I put my mouse over here, it's not going nowhere.
Gotcha.
But I will touch that point right here. So let's say this is the first line.
Right.
All right, so let's mute this because I'm hearing that. So they like this line, blah blah blah. They like the next line. I stop, I click my cursor here, and I trim what they said, because some artists like to redo the first line. So I trim using A and I bring this down, and then we start recording again. So now they like the next line. I'll do it faster this time. So it's like,
Ooh.
it's kind of like, I used to practice this with like no audio, no artist. The same way I'm doing it now.
Mhm.
I would do this for like 2 hours.
Mhm.
And I would give myself, like, let's say they don't like this line now. So now we have to go back here. I have to mute this one and bring it down, because they might like it after.
Mhm.
So let's say they like this line, but they said too much. So I got to trim here. Let's say they're like, oh, I don't like this one anymore. All right, so I'm gonna give myself more space. I'm gonna go back here, start recording here, and then just swap it.
Mhm.
And then let's say, all right, so let's go after this line. They're going after this line. They like it. I'll do it again.
Mhm.
I could fade that while that's playing. So this is an artist that's like fast.
Mhm.
And it's okay to misclick. I've misclicked many times. I've made mistakes many times. I've haven't pressed record many times. It happens. We're all human, bro. Like,
Mhm.
it's gonna happen. So it's just being confident. You just got to be confident.
Facts.
Practice. It's gonna get crazy in those rooms.
Mhm.
There's a. I feel like I've been talking forever, bro.
No,
But-
no, you're good. You're hey, we'll just say this. How can I say this without saying it? Just imagine this was schooling, and we'll keep it there.
all right, you're right. You're right.
You feel me? So
So I do want to add. There was one time I did a session for
Yeah.
Homicide Gang,
okay, yeah,
and all the artists came in, all their entourage, like 20, 25 people.
right.
People that's really, I don't see why you need that much people.
Right.
But anyways, and one guy out of the entourage came and told me, he was like, he looked at me in my face. He was like, you got to be on point tonight.
Right.
And like, you can't look scared. So I just
Right.
looked at him and I was like, no, I got you, bro. I got you.
Right.
I'd be like, this regular. I do this.
Right.
But in my head, I'm like, nah, I really got to lock in. Like,
right. right.
I cannot mess up right now.
Right. Right. Right.
And this is one of my first sessions, like my first big sessions, and it's
Right.
Homicide Gang, which is a blessing and a curse because it prepared me for everything else.
Right.
So that's just an example of a session that really tests if you can be in this game.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people are not cut out, because I've seen a lot of people get kicked out.
Right.
And they panic and they overthink. And I could probably say it got to the point where when I'm tracking now, I could sit back. Like, I could just sit back and relax. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to the point where I'm waiting on the artist.
Right.
I'll never make the artist wait on me. So
Right.
it's just repetition. You just got to keep doing it.
Right. Yeah, and then what was the key command like to trim a clip? Was it hold on, this is off the head here. G and D, right? No, D and G.
No, D was to fade in.
Okay.
And G was to fade out.
Okay.
So I think trim you're talking about when you have a selection, Command T.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
That's it.
so you see
right.
And then you will just Command F that and fade that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, one more thing I'd like to add.
Take notes, you all. This
an artist will fall in love with you because of a beat cut.
Okay.
One simple beat cut. So I could tell that, all right, there's a hook, verse, hook comes back in right here. So let's say before the hook comes back in, I'll just cut this piece here. Like they would love you for that.
Right. Right.
Something, especially with the words they're saying here matches up with the beat drop.
Right.
They would love you for that. Let's say a beat cut doesn't work. You could cut that and maybe throw it on a filter. So that's why I have this track here with the 1 knob filter.
Right.
Or let's say that doesn't work either. You could slow it down. You could audio suite and slow it down. So slow it down once, slow it down twice, slow it down 3 times.
Right.
You could slow it down, cut it in half, and then speed up the second half.
Right.
It's just a lot of, and it's all trial and error because there's a lot of times where I'll tell the artist, I'm gonna try this real quick.
Right.
Tell me if you like it. If it doesn't work, we'll go back.
Right.
Be like, all right, cool. And you just can't be scared. And I remember like working with big artists, like you might feel a sense like, they have their sound already. They know what they want. So you try to question yourself, like, should I even try this? And most of the times I did try it, it worked out.
Right.
Just do it. Just go with your gut. You went to school. You did all this to be an engineer. Go with your gut. Go with your gut. Yeah. Feeling more.
Right.
Like, the feeling more. So if you hear something in a beat that should be done, that might sound good, just do it.
Right.
But there is times where the artist did say, I don't like that. And I'll just, okay, undo. That's it.
Right.
That's it. It's that simple.
And if you're because if you noticed, you all, Don basically took that track. He didn't hit Command Z at one point. He just took it and took his cursor and rolled the track back per se, but it's in non-destructive mode. So when it's in non-destructive mode, you can take whatever track and pull it right back, So, but if it's in destructive, you're kind of screwed on that.
Yep.
So, and then there was a command too. I think I was tracking your vocals. I did it accidentally, but I knew what the command was, but I was trying to move fast like Don, and I hit, oh gosh, was it command period? And then what was, do you remember that?
Command. Oh, I do not remember that. Command period.
And I might be saying it wrong. It's where basically it does not record what's recorded. If that makes sense what I'm saying. So like if we're tracking a vocal and as opposed to me hitting like space command or whatever, or when it is recording and I just hit command period, it will not keep that saved in the file or the drive or whatever like that. It will literally delete it on all ends.
I know what you're talking about, but
remember that?
I know what you're talking about, but I never had to do something like that though.
Right.
This is the most important thing. Playlist everything.
Yeah.
Every take. So let's say I do a take right now, and I don't say nothing.
Right.
I'm still playlisting that, bro.
Right.
So playlist is control /.
Right.
So yeah, just playlist everything. There's times where an artist would do a line 15 times and they want to hear number 3.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm like, really, bro? You really want to hear number 3 right now?
Right. You got to take note of that. Yeah.
But you still got to do it.
Right.
So then you could go back takes by, I believe it's shift up or down.
That's correct.
It's not wired on my computer right now, but yep. And then go back to the takes, and that's basically it. That's
Now,
one of the most important things.
now to do that, you have to enable the playlist on that track or something like that.
Well, no, because I'm using a Mac keyboard on Windows right now, so
Right.
I actually had to manually map my keys.
Okay.
So that's something I didn't map because I'm mostly recording myself at home, so
Right.
I don't really care if I lose the take. I'll just do it again.
Right. But I mean to see the extra playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I believe you
Because you have to
yeah,
enable the okay,
if I
and
had
then
playlists here, it would show here, I believe. Yeah.
and then hit shift up and down, and it should like open it up, and you'll see the different takes.
No, but also if you as long as the cursor is here,
Yeah.
you can just hit shift up and down and it'll cycle through.
Okay. Okay.
Without even showing the list.
Okay. But for
Yeah.
me, I'd rather. I mean, that's true. I'd rather see the list too. Just I don't know.
Okay.
And there's a key command to change. I don't. And now that I forget to change waveform to volume to play. I don't.
Yeah.
What, you
That's
remember
yeah, that's minus.
that? Ooh, right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, now that you mentioned that, I also have my sends here because I like to do throws. So
Okay.
some people do the throws like they have a track that's labeled throws.
Okay.
Personally, I just like doing it like this. So I have my quarter note, eighth, and my verb.
Right.
So let's say I want to throw this whole line. So I select the clip. I use P, the letter P, to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it's on the verb. Once you bring your cursor up here, you'll see the symbol. You just click and drag.
Okay.
And if you want to mess around with it, command is to make a dot or another automation point. So you could put one there. You can mess around with it, whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, you could just undo or just highlight and click X, which is just another key for cut.
Right. Hey, I hope y'all taking notes, Don giving y'all the gospel, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example. Like, let's see. Let me just record and see what comes to mind. So,
okay.
Record, bring it down. Okay, let's say they're doing doubles.
Right.
No, actually, no, let's change that. Let's say they do something that they don't know they like yet. Right? So let's say they did an ad-lib by accident. Right here. I'm gonna give myself more space.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this down, but I'm gonna mute it and just keep it at the bottom.
Command M.
Command M. Yes, Command M. They don't know they did that though. They don't know I kept that.
Right.
So there's a lot of times when they're done recording, I'll be like, yo, I have this ad-lib here. And it's like, what you talking about? I play it and like, oh shit, you kept that? And after that, they call me back the next day. Like they call me back the next day. So
right.
And also get familiar with doing like stutters. You know, make sure your tempo is right first. So like stutter a word, you know, just break it up, click on it, hold option, you could copy it. Make sure the first stutter is lower than the second one, so it kind of builds up. Reverse reverb, of course. A lot of people love that. So same thing you did with a stutter, just copy the clip down. Let me move this out the way. And select how long you want the reverb to be. Audio suite, deverb. Let me bring this on this side. I always put the gain up. Change this number to 0 and hit reverse. And that's your reverse right there. And you could just fade it out however you like. That always goes good behind, you know, maybe a significant line or before the second hook, or you just got to feel it out.
Right.
And another effect that people do is this deep. A lot of people like the deep voice in certain lines.
Right.
So this is very simple. It's just a vocal mender, pitch all the way down.
Okay.
Or you can select the clip in Audio Suite and pitch it down as well. Just select the octave below and render it.
Right.
So there's different ways to do that. And another effect that I like is a doubler. Let me put this one on actually. Yeah. So in the presets, if you go to dark fader, it's
Right.
actually a nice effect that gives a deep tone behind the lead vocal that some artists, especially Capella Gray, he uses this a lot, I could tell. So that's just another key trick if you want to try something new.
Right.
And yeah, that's about it.
And
Be on point. That's it.
yeah, be on point. Yeah. And like Don said, Don is talented enough and familiar enough to know, okay, this is this preset, this is this plugin, this is this. He can tell that, and that's real talk, man. Like I'll hear certain things already. I'm like, hey, they use that one preset or plugin, or yeah, they use that preamp, or I can really tell. I can tell and we talked about this. You can too, but what microphones use? I can tell the difference between a U87, a U87 AI, a Sony C800G,
Right.
a 251. I can hear, and then you look up the mixing credits, and you're like, Eureka. So microphones have different flavors and tones. We're cooks too. We're cooks. We go in the kitchen and we add different spices and tones and this, that, and the third to make sure the palate, the tasting, experience is good. It's comfortable. It's nourishing. It's fun. So we have the ability to change your emotion, to make the mix presentable. It could be the greatest session in the world, but if that mix engineer or track engineer doesn't know how to present their work correctly, it's not going to be it's not going to be it's not going to be good.
And it's also about knowing when to speak and like what to say, what not to say. And I feel like you obviously have to start off as an intern. So as an intern, you're a fly on the wall. Like
right.
You're not to sound mean, but you're not speaking. Like don't
right.
They don't really care about your 2 cents. It depends on the room, but most of the time you're there to be an intern. Like they'll literally call, where's the intern? And that's just your job. It sucks, but that's how you work your way up. So
yeah,
know when to speak, know when to give your 2 cents, know when to be like, oh, I think you should do this instead. And I say that to say I actually did that one time as an intern. I gave some tips to a guy about what he should do, and my name ended up being on the credits.
Hell yeah.
But it's not only that. His one of his boys in his entourage actually told me it's also your character that got you that credit. It's not because you told them to do this. It's about how you carry yourself in the studio and just knowing what to do. And like I say, little things like this, bro. Like let's say an artist is smoking,
right,
and they need a lighter, but their lighter's on the other table, and you gotta pay attention. I'm gonna go get that lighter before he be like, can you pass me the lighter? It's little stuff like that like will get you back in those rooms. So just keep paying attention, like read the room. Like you see somebody spill some water, like before that water spreads, go grab that mop. Like as an intern,
So, right. Right.
Once you become engineer, you could call the interns. But let's say you see somebody pick up a phone call and the person on the phone is like, say, I'm 2 minutes away. I'm gonna text the intern. Somebody's about to be downstairs in 2 minutes. Instead of them telling me, yo, he's downstairs now.
Right.
My intern's already there. Like, so it's just little stuff like that. Just
right. No, real spiel on that. Real spiel. And as an intern, you might have to, get food. You might have to clean the bathroom. You might have to, whatever you're expecting. You're not going to do anything crazy, that is, but you're going to have to do the grunt work. You're going to be in there doing, things you may not want to be doing, but you're also going to be in the studio learning things by mistake. So you have to be in, like Nama said, you have to be able to be in a room and not be in the room at the same time. And if you can do that and make people comfortable and you know what you're doing, you might pick up that chair. You might be the assistant. You might be the assistant, So and that's how I did my thing. I was just in the room, quiet, picking up certain things. And all of a sudden people start noticing what you're doing and knowing, this and knowing that. And all of a sudden you're working a session or you're the assistant. So,
Right.
like you said, no one to speak, no one to provide valuable information. And also, don't be afraid. I'll say this too. Don't be afraid to ask, can I put my input into the situation if there's a gap there? Right. Remember
Right.
Don was talking about the he would take the beat here, he had a pause here, or like, no, it would be a section where the beat stops, stuff like that. You got to know, okay, should I fill in the gap here? Somebody might say, hey, I might want to use this mic, but the one preamp is not working, but the other one may or may not. You as an intern may know this preamp is working or not. So this is where you go, okay, sir or ma'am or whatever, can I add my 2 cents in here? And you do that, and then they'll see you patch things in and go, oh, okay, this person saved us, 5 minutes or a second, whatever it may be. So just know when to add your value in there, and then your value might keep going up and up, and then people really see your skill set, see your personality. They want to be around you, they want to rehire you, see you as great help or assistant. So yeah.
I also want to add there's a lot of examples where an intern would give too much of their input.
Speak on
it. And like, let's say at Quad, right? Like, we used to all the interns used to like hang out. We used to hang out. We used to teach each other things. But there'll be some interns that like try to shut down other interns and
That's sad. That's sad.
And act like they know more. And just because they know more, like they're better, so and other interns notice that too. And like, we would all talk about like, yo, he got to get out of here.
Mhm.
I don't care how much you know. It's about your character now.
Mhm.
Like, forget all the knowledge, like if you don't have good character, you will get kicked out.
Right. Right.
You will get kicked out 100%. I've seen that happen. So
I think you were telling me about that. Yeah. For example, that that's yeah. And to add on that too, you have people that don't know their how can I say this, that don't know what they're doing per se. And what I don't like is what they do in these internships, and what I didn't like, because me and Don are a little older than these people, that are coming out of these schools and stuff. I didn't like how they were having these 18-year-olds in these environments like that were very just unprofessional, goofy, just not aware of certain things. And as the person that's older or more experienced, you have to be able to get around that, because they could be setting you up for certain things or whatever it may be. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I feel that also comes from the source of the household. To get on.
Yeah.
It also depends on how you're raised. Because
Yeah.
I feel like I was always like this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound cocky. I'm keeping it real. Like,
no, I mean, talk your talk.
Like, I could tell, like, you as well. Like, you just know you were raised right.
Yeah.
know how to, when to socialize, or like when to just know how to carry yourself, know how to gain respect from people without even doing nothing.
Yeah.
So it starts from the source. So a lot of people come into those studios and you could just tell that at home it's not a good source.
No, and they're in there because their dad knows somebody or whatever it may be, or all that kind of crap. And it's like, do you actually add value here? A lot of people in this industry, and a lot of industries too, just taking up space based off whatever. My thing is, do you have the skill set? Do you have the personality? And if you can do that, I don't care how you look. I don't care about any of that. Your race, your ethnicity, your creed, your religion, whatever it may be. I don't care about that. But there's a lot of people in this industry, and I think you would agree, Don. If not, let me know, that are just there based off nepotism, or just there because of whatever it may be, right? But I am sick of that, and I did want to get into that a little bit. I am sick of that. I do notice that in this industry. But especially in the rap hip hop world, I've noticed that I get a lot of good connections through the country, rock, pop world. But when it comes to the hip hop rap thing, it's weird. It's weird overall. But I'm just saying, where I butter my bread at and where I get my stuff going. Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like most of the time I'm dealing with rappers, so I just know what to expect. Like,
yeah.
They'll come in the room and they'll be like, don't get me wrong, it's not all the time.
Right.
Most of the time, you just know what to expect. Like, they're gonna trash the room. They gonna they gonna hit gear. They might drop the mic. They might be blowing smoke right onto the mic.
Right.
They might have their drink right next to a speaker or whatever.
Right.
And it's like it gets to the point where like sometimes you do have to speak up as an engineer and be like, "Yo, can you not do that real quick, bro?"
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
then they might take it as disrespect, and you might lose that client. But honestly, I'd rather just lose the client
Mhm.
because I'm not enjoying myself. I'm recording. I gotta look around and make sure you're not spilling a drink on this board. Like, why am I doing that? So,
Oh, right on channel 8. They didn't spill some I don't
yeah,
know, whatever drink right in the module, and then oh my gosh, yeah, there's a joke people used to say, and I would say a lot of people would agree with this, with the rock crowd and rap crowd. There's a lot of drug usage, drinking, smoking, whatever, and so let's take a I don't know, let's take a U-47, right? A Telefunken U-47, and you have this person blowing smoke into that wonderful capsule. But the joke was it adds color and tone to it. So it adds a certain whatever. So I mean, if we have to, some things you can control and some things you can't. If you got like a person in there that's, I don't know, that's a big artist, you can't go in there, hey, stop smoking on it. Now, if you know these people personally and stuff like that, and y'all kind of have that connection, you can do that. But if you've been engineering for them, maybe, I don't know, 4 sessions or something like that, you can't go in there and go, hey, stop smoking on it. You have to. It's a weird balance in this industry of what we do, but you got to know when and know when not to do certain things.
yeah.
You know.
I feel like that's another thing that comes from the source. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know how to put it over nicely. I know how to
Right. Right.
I know how to make sure I don't lose you as a client, but
Right.
and saying at the same time, now you can't smoke right there, bro. So
Right. Right.
again, that just comes from home training.
And then they might be testing you too. They might go, "Hey, we want to test this one engineer to see if he's really, really, really going to tell us, or really, they might say, let's test him to see, if he's going to give us proper, advice in this mixing session to make it the best it can be. There might be a test, so you have to look. And again, like Don said, how do you say? You just don't say, "Hey, get off that compressor, stop hitting your knee on the, whatever it is," right? Yeah, you can, So it's certain ways you can do things. And Don, there's another reason why we became friends and whatever. He was just I don't know, like you said, home training.
Respect, bro. Respect.
Familiar music we like and how we want the outcome and certain things like that. And I do this, he does that, and we combine them together, and we've worked on certain sections and of things and sessions, and yeah. But I noticed that immediately about you. I'm like, this guy is, he's younger than me too, but he's not one of these. I've seen, I don't know, I've seen some goofy stuff. I know you have too. What's the most craziest thing you've seen an engineer do or intern do?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, like, all right, give me more detail, like crazy in terms of what?
Let's say, I don't even want to say a mistake, because mistakes are mistakes. But if you do tell somebody, hey, don't do this, and they keep doing it, is that really a mistake? Let's say, for example, you're the engineer in the session, and the intern comes in the room, and I don't know, he trips on somebody's leg, or he trips on the chair or something. You ever seen anything like that?
I've seen crazy stuff when there's like a lot of people in the studio. It becomes a party, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's a lit party. Like
Yeah.
it's a lit party. Everybody having a good time, but some people just take it too far.
Yeah.
And like some people would just throw up on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, spill like everything. They'll be eating food, drop the whole plate.
Right.
Like I've seen crazy like that. In terms of like audio, I've seen someone almost drop the C800. Yeah, that was probably the scariest moment.
Right.
And then let's see what else.
Yeah,
go ahead.
How many of those mics at your studio are quad ohms of the Sony? Do you know?
It's just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had two. Yeah, we had two.
Artists request it, but it is extra charge and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But if they're coming with the label, that's a whole bunch of whatever.
Right.
However,
Right.
however it works, bro. I don't know.
Right. Got to print out the work, and then all that. Yeah.
And then
It's always cool seeing these. My bad. It's always cool seeing these artists sign things, and you see that's a funny, cool process sometimes.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, like again, the drinks being spilled on the board.
Yeah.
Almost going into the channels, but if I'm sitting right at the board, I'm able to. I'm putting my hand on it, bro. I don't care. Like whatever the alcohol is not getting into the
right.
channel.
Right. Right.
You're gonna deal with a lot of ash. There's ash everywhere.
Taking the vacuum on each channel module, sucking it up. Right.
Ash everywhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm gonna say one time.
What distractions?
It's something that came from a distraction.
Okay.
That came out of a distraction.
Right.
And it was on the.
Oh. Right. Wow.
Right, so just think about it. Like, see how we have plugins? Just take out the word ends. So that fell out.
Wow, that is insane.
And the intern had to sweep it up.
Wow. Did it light up or anything like that? Or it was just.
Nah, it was one of them just solid ones.
Okay, that's wild. You even know that's. Hey, I'm freshly hearing this. That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Dang.
I mean, studio, like it be getting lit, but when you're the one that had to deal with it, it's not as lit. But don't get me wrong though, like your name gets around. People, when they see you, they respect you. They remember like, yo, you were working that night at the party, bro. Like, here, take this, take some food, take this, and I've received a lot of tips, like,
right,
just because they see I'm putting up with that shit. So I receive a lot of food, tips, just respect. So it's like a blessing and a curse, One more thing, also, a lot of interns. Remember, you're working for free, and when I became general assistant, then I had interns, right? So I'm telling the interns what to do. Obviously, I'm not being crazy, like, yo, do this. But there was this one intern, shout out Benny, bro. He stayed with me to the end. Like, he worked so hard, but he was so hungry. He was doing the craziest shit without me even telling him, and just making sure the studio was on point. And like, shout out to Benny, man. Just wanted to put that out there. Like, he's doing good now. He's he got promoted to house engineer, I believe. He's doing big sessions. He's doing this thing, man. So shout out to Benny. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, shout out Benny. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's and this is we don't have to make things hard. If I know somebody, if I know Don, and I know he has a better skill set than me, I'm gonna call him up. That's another thing, people. You can't do everything. If that was the case, it would just be one person living in this world. So I might know this mastering guy, mixing guy, tracking guy. I'm gonna call people to get certain jobs, and those jobs come back to you. So it's not like you have to hog every job. It's just the fact that you have connections. You use them. What's best for the session? What's best for the job? And if I'm not best for it, if I know, hey, I want you to track it. Well, I know Don. Let me get him, let me, get his flight up, pay for his flight, hotel. Let me get him over here, track this, thing on here. We cut the money here, cut the money there. And, that's how we do it. This stuff is very simple. Go ahead.
I don't mix my own work. I'm going to keep it a buck. I do not mix my own work.
Okay.
I just trust other people. And I know that mixing isn't what I'm best at, because I feel like I have a lot more to learn. My ear is not as trained, so I don't trust myself to mix. But tracking, put me in there. Put me in there.
One of the I'm telling y'all right now, one of the best. Like, real walkie-talkie. No, I'm not even trying to. I told you back then. I won't even. I don't be saying it's falsified and like to fill people's heads up and make people egotistical. But that's real. That's real spill.
Respect,
Um,
respect. But enough of we gotta hear some song. Where's the song? We gotta hear some song.
okay. Hey, last thing I want to add on this too, with engineering and getting in the door. Don and I put a lot of time into this. I mean, a lot of time. Like, for example, we talked about this other day. We were, how can I say this without making it sound crazy? We were, how can I say this? When the school was closed,
Oh, okay.
right, we were getting in the studio, right? School was closed, nobody there. Well, it was a couple people there, actually. I'm sorry. But, stuff was closed and we were there in there. And then we had the lights off. People would come by the door or something. We would, like, I mean, you remember that?
We had
Like,
we had our phone lights on to see
yeah,
the EQs on the board.
yeah, yeah. We stuck in the little thing in the back and all that through the control room and
And then we had class at what, 8 o'clock in the morning?
facts.
The next day, yeah.
The next day,
Next day.
we was in like our studio hours or what do you call? I can't remember, but it was beyond what it needed to be, and we were trying things. We were just we were just getting our time in. We really were dedicated to what we were doing. And I remember this one mix. Last thing, and I'm gonna bring up I remember this one mix for a song you were on with some people, and I really liked the vocal chain. I think it was a Blueface, 1176, and I think I put it into a distressor if I remember right. And I just remember that combination just sounding very magical and good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I just remember that. But just try different things. Again, you're cooks. You try these. That's called serial compression. You take one compressor, it might be a faster one. You take another one, might be a slower one. You might want to reverse it or whatever, or invert it. Whatever. But you got to try things, and if it works, and like Don said, if it sounds good, it sounds good, and you let it be. You commit it, print it, and boom, there it is. Be confident in your mixing. Be confident in your mastering. Be confident in your recording and tracking. That's what I want to really promote to a lot of these engineers out here. Just because we can recall a session and do a million things on it 20 billion times, sometimes it's not good. So just, commit to your stuff. Be trustworthy of your ear and your emotion in terms of a mixer, tracker, mastering, whatnot, or mastering engineer, So yeah.
Don't let social media fool you. And that goes for like in general, but in terms of engineering, a lot of engineers will like post a picture of them in the room with these artists. In reality, they didn't do nothing in that room. Like,
right.
They didn't touch a fader. They went and got some water, you know what I'm saying? So now if you're someone that's trying to come up, I understand why you would take that picture. I understand why you would be like, yo, I worked with so and so.
Right.
I don't blame you because you gotta put food on the table.
Right.
But from another perspective, don't let it fool you and be like, damn, he's better than me because he was in this room, or she was better than me because she did this in this room and she got to meet this person. It doesn't work like that. So don't feed into the social media stuff that you see
at all. And it's a lot of people, like we said before, in these chairs that don't have the skill set. It's just because somebody, nepotism, knows somebody, or I sent you that one. I'm not going to name the name, but I sent you that one YouTube thing. You saw what that guy was doing. He was tracking old dudes. So it's just yeah.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I'm like,
what is he doing?
Right. I'm like, golly, but people, but I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. But you see a lot of cornball stuff like that. Let me put my session on here. I'm gonna have to put it in. So
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yes.
All right, got you.
Let me bring this up here. Give me a second, you all. Okay. Let's see. All right. Window, Pro Tools. Here we go.
You mind if I just grab a sip real quick?
Yeah, good. No, go ahead.
1 second.
No, you good. Okay. There we go. So I'm just bringing up a rough mix I'm doing on this song that I produced. I took these vocals from the song "Straight Ballin'" by Tupac featuring Corrupt, and yeah, so I took those vocals. I don't know where they came from. So basically, what I did was I had found these acapella vocals on YouTube, and I had routed it into Pro Tools to actually print it to have it. You know what I mean? I didn't go to a website and download. I just, basically routed into Pro Tools and basically record it like that. And so I did that. I chopped it up. I made, I very speeded it to make sure it was in the tempo I wanted it. I had to edit it, edit it and chop it up to make sure, make sure it fitted. You have to produce. This is what producers do too. And I also produce too. And also, we're gonna talk about this too. Don's an artist too. I like his music. But me as a producer, you have to be able to make things fit. It might be a certain key, it might be a tempo, whatever it may be. You have to make things work. And yeah, that's what And also too, I like producing projects. I like making artists be the best they can be. Maybe suggesting, singing at this, singing at this note, or hit it like this, or say this phrase here. Da, 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 I like doing that. I produce. There's beat makers, and then there's producers. I'm a producer. I can play drums, I can play guitar, I can sing, I can play a little bit of keys, a little bit, but yeah. So let me and be aware of the volume. You also make sure your headphones are good here. Let me put this in stereo so it won't be echoing. And Don, if you hear anything crazy on my end, let me know, man.
I got you.
All right. And I'll check my phone too to hear the playback so I can hear it sounding live. It takes my okay. All right. Let me. Okay, I'm gonna turn mine. And like I said, y'all, this is just a rough here, but I want to show you certain things I'm doing. Let me turn down my master fader here for now. Let me mute the vocals right now, and I'll play it. But let's just play a little bit of it. Oh, and also, let me go back to the stream, the screen. Also, let me make sure it sounds good on mine. Hold on 1 second. Good. No delay there. Just want to check the playback on the live there. So yeah. So I took the guitar line from a band called Ohio Players, Roller Coaster Love. So I got the vinyl right here. So when I sample things or whatever, I like to sample it from vinyl because to me it just feels and sounds way better than anything off a CD. Now I do like sampling off tape too, but I prefer vinyl. But when it comes to an MP3 file or a .wav file or what's the AI whatever or it just doesn't feel and sound right. I just don't like these digital tracks. I just don't. So I usually when I sample things, it's from vinyl, it's from tape. Yeah. So let me play the instrumental first. Make sure. All right, here we go, y'all. Make sure you're all, check your headphones, and it shouldn't kill your ears, but just be aware it's about to blare a little bit. Oh no! Guess what happened? Do you see that?
What happened?
It says AAE can't get enough audio from the driver. So I have so many plugins on this and all that, and my computer is just. So
what's your size at on the playback engine?
It's on 1024.
Yeah, it's just that's probably gonna keep happening.
Yeah, I know, man. So sorry, y'all. Like my computer is I got this in 2020, and then they want you to have the most updated computer in the world. In other words, I don't have the M1 chip. I just have my OS is what is it? Let me see here. It is the processor 3.2 gigahertz 6-core Intel Core i7. So if I had the M1 or M2, I think the M3's out now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it'll be able to handle more of this. But
or just disable plugins that on tracks you're not using. So
facts.
Or just disable the whole track.
Facts. Let me try. Let me try it one more time. If it does it again, we'll just
all right.
We'll do that. Because it was doing fine earlier, but we'll see. Here we go, y'all. Oh my gosh, what just happened there? Okay, that was weird. Okay, you can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry, I don't know. All right, anyway, here we go. All right. So let me turn this down a little bit. I don't know why it blared like that before. So if y'all can hear, that's the guitar line there I got from that sample there. So pause this here. What I did with this guitar line here, let's see, can the plugins show up on the screen here? If not, I'll just explain it.
No, so instead of sharing, because you click share Pro Tools, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So see if you can click share screen instead. The
Okay.
screen that Pro Tools is on.
The whole thing. Okay, okay. Let me go back to that.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
So you might have to unshare and share again. Yep.
Okay. Share entire screen. Gotcha. I don't know why I did that volume jump like that. That is crazy. All right, here we go. All right. Add the stage. There we go. All right. So make sure you can see it. Yeah. So
Yep.
on the first insert here, I put this little native instrument choral or chorus plugin on here just to kind of give it a, that chorus effect to it. I made it a little wider too, so at 100%. I kept it at 50 at first, but I wanted it to be 100 because it just spread in a way that I liked. And then when I checked the phase of it, again, you want to check your phase. And how do you do that? Well, you check it in mono, you check the left side, you check the right side, you invert it and stuff like that. That's how you check it, see if it's a phase, see if it's balanced enough, see if it's heard in each section there that you check. For my EQ here, I rolled off like at 200 hertz at an 18 dB slope here. Did some EQ here, or some cutting, I should say. Fairly wide here at 250 hertz. Right in this little section, where that boxiness is, that 250 to 500 range is kind of boxy, so I just took out about -5 and -3. And I go about this how it sounds and feels. Sometimes you want to take out all of it, but if it sounds too thin or sounds too sibilant or sounds too harsh, you kind of want to back up off that. But I did this at about -5 in this section here. I did some more EQ in here. I rolled off here on the low cut per se, not low cut. I meant low pass at 15 kilohertz here. Usually you want to start, so our hearing goes from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, but I like to roll off at 15 kilohertz there. That's where, not just 20. I don't, do that all the time. So it's 15 for that. Now this plugin Soothe is really good. I just have it on the factory default setting here. Is getting rid of some harshness here and things I don't need in that little guitar part there. Then I took this plugin, which I love too. This is the UAD Pultec here. Took out 210 dB. Just got out that mid there again. Let me play it. So y'all can hear that. And then let me disable all the plugins. That's how it sounds without it. Do y'all hear that? Okay. That's with it on it. So I'm just making it sit more on the track. So within, and again, you got to make things work within the track you're doing and you're producing. Things have to sit right. Things have to glue right. So yeah. So also what I did too, I took the same track and duplicated that. But what I did with that is just did more EQing. And I took the same EQ as I did on the actual regular guitar track. And to copy plugin settings we have, I think it's Shift Control C. And if it's the same plugin, you can do Shift Command C, and then to paste that same EQ setting or whatever setting you have, you can do Shift Command V, and you don't have to do all the extra work, whatever. You can just copy the same plugin settings there.
You could also option drag. So
facts.
Option drag it down. If it's too far, then I guess you could do the Shift Command. But yeah.
No, facts. So what I did here on the duplicate of that guitar track was I took, because it's stereo, it's stereo. So what I did was I made it completely mono here, and I love this plugin. This is one of the MS, and when I say MS, mid-side plugins I use. I made it completely mono. So, here you have that right there was not mono, but I made it, literally mono.
That's
And what I
cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So I wanted to have that guitar to kind of be down the middle too a little bit. So when you did collapse it or summon in mono, it's heard. So if you're in the elevator, if you're in I don't know, a hotel or a mall, everybody hears the main parts. So this, yeah, again, as a producer, you have to ask, what's the main part? What do I want to be heard the whole time within that mix? So I wanted that guitar to be heard pretty prominent in each, in the whole song. That is. So I made sure that was in mono. Let me play that now. Let's see. So it's in the middle. I got the fader down about -23. I don't need to have it way up here, but it's at -23. And then when you put it in mono, it sounds, it's in phase per se. It sounds good. The guitar is still there, Um, yeah, then I bring back the stereo track there. There's that. I got some delay on it. This plugin here, to kind of give it some width and delay per se. Are you familiar with this plugin, Don? The Ozone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a free plug. Well, I don't know if it's still free, but when it came out, it's free. So I still got this version. I don't know if there's a different version or not, because I don't have a lot of. I have the Ozone 11 or 12 or something like that. I think I have 11. I can't remember, but yeah, just to make it a little wider, whatever. Did that on there. Also, what I like to do on my sends is I like to compress it too. I like to compress it. I'm compressing the hell out of it too. I'll bring it in as this is pretty much my fader. I'll make this the compressor my tone thing, my fader, and all this kind of things like that. So with the delay, I can make it. But I don't need all that much within the mix. You gotta make sure you're not adding too many spices there, because it'll sound crazy or out of whack. But I need that much delay there. But yeah, that's pretty much my fader there. I compress it. I EQ my sends. Some people just might EQ it. Some people might not at all, and they'll just use the actual Pro Tools fader there. Whatever works. If it sounds good and good, but I like to compress and EQ each signal there, each path there, or signal flow. That's what I like to do.
That's interesting. I might start doing that.
I
That's
suggest.
cool.
Oh, it does like that when I went back to stream. My bad. It looks crazy when I did that, but I suggest, yeah, try it, because think about it. You have all this crazy wild hairs coming out of the send file, the send track, and it's like, when you listen back to, because I'll hear some mixes on the radio, I'm like, yeah, they just basically just had the fader like at -30 and was like, okay, there you go. But you can hear the 80 hertz or 60 hertz or 40 hertz you don't need on them sides like that. It's like, you got to trim that. You got to compress that. They'll just stick out too much. And sometimes you might want it to stick out, but the whole track, nah.
I definitely EQ my sentence, but I'm talking about using the compressor as a fader. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's different. I never seen that before.
Yeah, it's convenient for me, but also just, again, tone. But it's convenient. I like to, and again, I look at it like this. I like to have everything at a nominal level. So I come from a console background, I want to have all my consoles pretty much at 0. That's just my concept. Now, that's not going to be all the time, right? But if, I'm going to have all the faders at 0. Even if I have my rough mix might be, it might be from -5, -7 at the most. But if I do my signal flow correctly, where my input and my output is set at a good balance, my fader, and I would say 9 times out of 10, my faders are not going to really differentiate too far from each other at all. At the most, it might be -3, -5, -7. But if everything is correct, how I do my input and output, I'm good. And that's how I know it's going to be a good mix too, based off me doing that. And as a mixing person, you got to know the input and output is very important, how you balance your mix. And I was talking to Don about this a long time ago. Like, that's the bulk of a mix. If you can make a rough draft or a rough version of your mix sound good, like, yeah, the extra stuff we're doing here with the plugins and the processing and the automation, that's way easier if you do that part. Trust me.
Yeah.
Way.
100%.
Yeah. Let me show you what I did on the 808 here. So I'm gonna solo
Oh
that.
yeah, I feel like that's a big one right there because a lot of people, including myself, don't know how to attack the 808.
Well, I love attacking it. And this
Yeah.
808 was horrible. It's like one of the worst 808s I have in my sound library here. But and I was going to change it. Sometimes it works, but I was like, you know what? Let me work with this 808 here. Let me work with it. So I'll play it right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, got my bus meter. My bad. You hear that?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So what I did first is I'll take like a um, you know, I'll take this plugin right here, and what I'll do on the input stage it is as an insert. I don't go by the output, right? I'll take the input version of this and I'll dial it back because I have this calibrated at -18, and I'll make sure, and it should if I did it correct. Let me see. You see how it's hitting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it gets down to about. Let me see. I thought it did -0.2. Okay, so it gets down about -0.3, right? I don't have to be right at zero, but basically, I don't want it to go into the red. I have a calibrated -18, so that's a good level I have there to give me enough headroom so I can put processing on that 808. Now, the question is, should you do this all the time? I would say you should do this about 80% of the time, even with a 2-track, to give yourself headroom. Because when you have a 2-track and you're trying to put vocals on there, your beat or your instrumental track needs to be turned down because your vocal's going to be clipping. It's not going to be properly, gain stage and such like that. So this is
Mhm.
what I calibrate my stuff to -18, because that's equivalent to the VU of the analog domain. That's why I do that. Yeah, -18 dB, right? So yeah, so I do that. I get a good level there. I start with that. Then I go, you know what? Let me do a rough mix. Then what I do is I'll bring this up to level. Yeah, and now this I don't do all the time. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, because some of these plugins add these weird artifacts and weird tones I don't like. But this particular plugin here, the Standard Clip by SIR, is really good. So I'll just bring this up to a level I want. So let me enable that. Okay. So now you notice if I turn this back on, my VU meter here, my little digital VU meter here, it's going in the red now,
Right.
which is fine. And why do I say it's fine? Because one, I'm using my ear saying it's not clipping, and we're fine there. What I do want to watch at this stage here, you want to hit Command here at the, oh shit, my bad. You want to hit Command here, to see where my peak level is. So I have it now. It's at -2.3. Now, if it's at 0 or it's clipping, this is how I know I need to bring that down, right? So this is the part there to bring out a good level, okay? To bring out a good level. But again, that's Command. You hit this little section here, right there. You can see your volume there. You can see the how many delay, how much delay or delay compensation, well, how many samples it's adding on there from the plugin right there. You have your peak meter there, so I'm seeing where it's peaking at. But as long as that's not hitting 0, I'm fine. And I've been told by a lot of well-known engineers and some videos I've seen online, you want to have your kicks. This is a good suggestion right here, and I would say y'all definitely try this and do this. You want to have your kicks hitting around -1. If you can do that, that's really good, and kind of bring everything else up there, because that kick is where if it's at -1, some people might even put it at 0, but long if you're not going beyond that, cool. But that's just a good suggestion to have your kicks right there. But to add more like saturation and more harmonics so it can be heard on cell phones, I added this plugin here. So it's kind of hard holding my mic and doing the same time. My bad, y'all. That's why I'm kind of going back and forth there. 1 second. But yeah, this plugin is adding even and odd harmonics. So on the cell phone, you're gonna be able to hear this 808. So let me do this. Right now, I don't have all the other plugins now. That's why it's clipping now there. That's why. But I'm just saying I'm adding these different, different spices and stuff like that in there. But let me enable everything else so it won't be sounding crazy on there. But here we go. And I got this EQ on there. I don't need any of this mess right here. I got this SPL transient plugin too, because there's certain transients in that 808 I did not like. So when I heard it on the cell phone, I heard it on my monitors, it added this weird like spitting, like basketball, like weird clicking sound I didn't like. So I got rid of it. This is another transient plugin I added, but also this is upward compressing using it. I didn't need that. Just like the transient algorithm here they have in this plugin is very nice. I did another one too. Took out about -50 there. Yeah, so that's how I did that. Also, I have another one underneath here, but I didn't need it. Then I have my 808 bus, right? And when you're this is oh man, this is monumental. When you're, and let me know if you've done this, Don. When you're EQing bass, and I'm talking about bass guitar, anything that is low LF or low information, please don't high pass anymore. Do a low shelf because of the phase and how these EQ plugins hit that. What'd you say, Don? My bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's a and I took out about, I'm at 15 hertz here, whatever. And this is a low shelf. This is not a high pass. Please do not high pass. I mean, you can do what you want to do. If it sounds good, sounds good. But I'm just saying it'll sound better, in my opinion, if you low shelf your low information. And I have this at 15 hertz, and I took out literally -30, whatever. But it just sounds way better. Turn this up a little bit. Take this clap, verb out. Yeah, so you want to make sure everything is meshed together, make sure everything is coming together. Now, when I put the vocals in, you'll hear how that sounds. And the vocals, again, this is a rough mix. I'm not done with this. I'm showing you all something rough. This is not like, something I'm very proud of, but I'm the person that likes showing the rough stuff. I like putting out non-mixes. I like putting very dirty, nasty things out there sometimes, just because, I think it's, I think it's fun to do that sometimes. So I'm gonna put the vocals in. Let me play this part. No. Hey, do you remember the key command to fit the session into screen?
Oh, damn. You got me with that one.
I hope it's not echoing because yeah.
Nah, I definitely forgot that because I have not used that once after school.
Okay. Option A.
Option A.
That shit is amazing.
I just did it. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, option A. Do you remember how to make the tracks like pretty much fit the screen too?
Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, I forgot all that, bro.
Remember the finger salute, 3-finger salute shit?
Okay, yeah.
So 3-finger salute, then press down, it should be.
I think so. Well, then again, my keyboard isn't mapped, but I feel like you're right because that does sound familiar.
Yeah. So when I do it, hold on, let me put this mic down. Hold on. It should be like, when I do it, it should go. You see what it did?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's Control Option Command and then press down. And to make your tracks bigger, you hit Control Option up or down. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. And then, I mean, yeah. Okay, so I'm bringing the vocals and I'm gonna play this part here. All right. California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true. So yeah, I did some processing on the vocals here. Let me take out all the plugins here. It's really hard holding this mic and doing this. I need a stand, y'all. My bad. But yeah, this is how the vocals sound. Let me take out the bus too. All right, let me take this out too. All right. This is how they sound without the processing here.
Currency and stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, man.
Yeah. So, and I do have this stuff on my bus too. I have a lot of stuff. So I'll get into that. I'll get into that later. But anyway, what I did with the EQ here on the vocal, let me see here. I rolled off at 150 hertz here. I took out about -2 at 175 hertz, -2, 222 hertz. All these little points there. And again, when I EQ vocals, mainly it's a wider band mainly. Sometimes I might make it real narrow, but for this particular vocal, in my opinion, based off what I'm hearing, I wanted it to be a little wider. So let's listen to how it sounds with the EQ on there now.
Currency and stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfuckers still ballin'. Niggas wonder why. You can bring your crew, but we remain.
So yeah. That's what I liked how it sounded there, and I got some multi-band compression here too. I think right here also, right there, at like -2 or whatever. But yeah. I that's the EQ I did for that. Now this plugin Soothe.
I want to say,
Go ahead.
the vocal sounded a lot more clear, like after all that attenuation. And that's another point that I like to make. Like when you attenuate stuff on the low side, the stuff on the high side is gonna be enhanced. Like
Facts.
without you even having to touch the high side. So that's just another point to keep in mind.
Nah, thanks for that facts. And by the way, intervene and say whatever. Just be like, hey man, that sound like you know me, man. I don't even care about all that. But yeah, exactly. So with the Soothe plugin here, and I gotta get a mic stand. Me holding this, I'm working this. This is crazy. I don't think you can't see me right now. Actually, you can't see me because I'm.
No, I can't.
Yeah, my bad. So the Soothe, again for this, I just kept it, the factory setting. Now I did change the attack here. I kept this fast. I kept the release fast. I did do that. I kept the sharpness at 4.6, and again, you have to play around with this stuff here. Sharpness. The selectivity, all that, the depth. Now the depth I usually keep at 2 or 3. When I feel like with this plugin, like if you go beyond it, it gets too artifacty, or it sounds too like I don't know, it sounds too wobbly or something. I don't know. So I just keep it at 2 and 3 with that. Now this de-esser, I don't know if you've ever used this de-esser in the studio, but I've used this and track with this and mixed with this compressor, the real one that is. This is my favorite de-esser ever. This one right here. So let me play this section here, you all with this on it.
Currency and stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfuckers still ballin'. Niggas
want. Keep in mind, I got these vocals offline, so they're sounding very, I don't know, weird. There's some weird stuff on it like that. I don't know, but I did certain things like this to my best ability to get the harshness off, and I'm not done with the mix, but this is with it on there.
Currency and stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die.
I got this compressor here just to give it a little bit. I think every now and then it hits at like -2 or whatever when it's compressing, so it's not doing too much. These vocals have already been compressed and stuff. I don't want to add too much stuff on there, right? I'm just concerned about the sibilance, the harshness, these weird artifacts and stuff like that. Now, this right here, this plugin, Don, I think you're gonna like this. You might be using it. I don't know. I got it on sale for like $40, almost about a half a year ago. But this basically is like that One Waves plugin where it's called the Writer or something like that from Waves. I think
the Vocal Writer.
Vocal Writer, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one is better in my opinion. But let me put it on, and I'll show you the difference here almost.
My currency is stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you could bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfuckers still ballin'. Niggas wonder why. You could bring.
So it's this plugin writes the automation based how you set it for you, so it keeps it balanced. So I would put this on here before you start compressing, compressing to hell on a vocal. I would automate a vocal first. So when you feed it into that compressor, it's not going to work so much, and the compressor is going to be more even sound and just more better. So whether you have to do manual automation or you use these type of plugins, I would say you automate the vocal first, then compress it to make it even sound more even, more better, and just tonally better too. And you all can see how much more even and how it sits better when you have this on.
Stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you could bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfuckers still ballin'. Niggas wonder why. You could bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfuckers still ballin'. My currency is stacks, California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead, niggas still ballin'. Till the day I die, you could bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfuckers still ballin'. Niggas wonder why.
Yeah, so again, this particular plugin here, I just love her vocals. I kept the sensitivity at 50. I didn't need to have it at 100 or whatever like that, but 50 was really good. Because once I went past 50, it just started just really like doing too much. You just did too much where it was just lowering it too much. So 50% for the sensitivity. I took it way down there to kind of keep it more tighter and for it to write its own automation algorithm in there, how it does. And it just fit better. What do you think about that plugin, Don?
No, I'm about to cop that for sure. It sounds way more like exactly what I wanted to do. Like, yeah.
So that's pretty much what I have on that particular track. They're the same for the one track here. Like, let me see here. Let me actually solo that. Okay.
They done did it, let the dog out the cage. I'm pumped, jump with the gauge. I done did it all. Everywhere I go, I ball. Precise, keep my game tight. Oh, for sure I fall. I'm the invincible. And since the top principles loot, like the heat to the mark, who got the heart to shoot? I get stitches. Play the game of BB britches. When I was young, dreaming about money, fame, and bitches. I like fat asses. Fat money bags of cash and masses. Slowly as time passes, I found nothing but money rules, time and space. And in this realm, my thoughts where all the fucking murders take place. And I'm in it to win it. I'm out to get paid, got all these bitches on my dick from all the money I made. It's a trade I've acquired. Growing up, inspired naturally, I don't give a fuck. A murderer for they done did it, let the dog out the cage. I'm pumped, jump with the gauge. I done did it all. Everywhere I go, I ball. Precise, keep my game tight.
And how to bring up multiple plugins on that particular track, just hold shift and you can see all your plugins on your screen there. I'm just holding shift while I'm hitting each plugin. But I just want to show you all like this is how I EQ that vocal. When I EQ the corrupt track different than the Pac track, because these are different voices, so you don't, again, the same EQs don't work with the same people and all that kind of stuff like that. But just
they done did it, let the dog out the cage. I'm pumped, jump with the gauge. I done did it all. Everywhere I go, I ball. Precise, keep my game tight. Oh, for sure I fall. I'm the invincible. And since the top principles loot, like the heat to the mark, who got the heart to shoot? I get stitches. Play the game of BB britches. When I was young, dreaming about money, fame, and bitches. I like fat asses. Fat money bags of cash and masses. Slowly as time passes, I found nothing but money rules, time and space. And in this realm, my thoughts where all the fucking murders take place. And I'm in it to win.
Yeah, so in this particular de-esser, this Lindell plugin, it's just a very smooth, transparent, and it adds this tone I like to it has too. And again, it's not just like the real version of this, the real analog version, but it's pretty close. So yeah. And this is what people used to track with back in the day. I'm talking about Whitney Houston, Dre, Tupac, whatever. This was a de-esser they would use coming in. They would print with this. They wouldn't do it out. They would print with this particular de-esser. So yeah, I suggest you all definitely get that one. This is a Plugin Alliance one there. So what else do I want to show on here? No, let's see. I talked about that. Oh, like on my delay for my vocal, I have like, I might put a phaser on there. I might put see also too on my vocal delays or vocal reverb sends. I'll put like saturators on there. I'll put phasers on there before. I'll put weird stuff like that, add more tone and more like grit to it. So when you bring up that fader or whatever, like it just has a more of a like different sound than everybody else. They might go, how do you get that gritty, or how do you get that more prominent, potent delay reverb sound? How does your reverb sound more fuller like that, more real, more analog? Because when you're using these saturator plugins on your session, you're trying to make it sound analog using all these odd and even harmonics with these plugins. You're trying to make stuff more, wider, more or less harsh, more just more better. So that's why we use these plugins and stuff like that to make it sound more analog. So when people sit here and say these plugins are up to par with everything else, no, you have to use all these different plugins in combination to make it sound like what you think you're not trying to make it sound like. So again, know the analog domain very well. Oh yeah, last thing here on this session, I use this right here as like a side chain. So I put this there. So the vocal, when the vocal hits, this dips down low or dips lower. So it won't be flooding the vocal all in the way of that particular vocal. So, but when it releases or when the vocal stops, the delay or reverb opens up. So that's another thing you want to try to side chaining with your delays, your reverbs and such things like that. Let me go back to the screen here. But yeah, like yeah, that was pretty much what I wanted to show you all and stuff like that.
Can you explain the side chaining, the verb and delays again?
Okay. Let me go and put it back on the screen here. Okay. So this is my voice change send here, or track, right? So I have it. It has a key input. Some plugins have key input, some plugins don't. But this particular FabFilter Pro C2 plugin has a key input, so that's convenient. And when it doesn't, I can explain that too if you want me to. But so I put this on bus 1, because that's the bus, that's the patch I have open per se. And again, all this stuff comes from the analog domain. This is the patch that's open. If your patch is already closed or used, you use a different patch. So my bus 1 is open here. And I have that basically feeding, right, the vocal bus. So what I did, I want to have all the vocals utilize that voice change there. That's how I enable that for, just less work. And I don't have to add another thing for each track. It's just less work per se. So I have this right here on my vocal bus here, and that's feeding all the vocals coming into the vocal. So when the voice change is hit by Pac or Corrupt or whatever like that, it is getting hit. So when that vocal is on that track, it is that voice change is not going to be basically like at the same volume. It's going to be sucked out. It's going to be in the back. But when they stop rapping or singing, it opens up. It's like it's like a valve. It's like a sink valve or a pipeline. It's a closed valve, open valve. So this is what that is, and that's the process or signal. Signal flow of how that's set up. But yeah, you just take the bus 1. I know, but bus 1, do that there, and then yeah. Did I answer your question?
No, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. But I like using the C2 one because the way it processes the side chain. Some of these plugins are just not good at doing what they're doing. I don't know. It's just the algorithm, the technology within the plugin just doesn't sit right with me. So the C2, another one I use too is this one right here. Where is it at? Oh yeah, this BX Townhouse bus compressor. You got to hit the key input here to get in. Yeah, you have to hit this, but if you don't, it's not gonna work. It's indicating that you are side chaining now. So that's hit. You go to bus 1, boom. You know what I mean? You take your threshold. I usually put it at all the way. I might have the 2, ratio of 2 or 4, whatever. Attack is usually going to be like in the middle, or fast. It's either or. Release is going to be set at never really auto, because auto is really for a whole mix. Auto is like the whole thing. That's something you want to put on your actual mix bus or mastering master bus. I don't use auto for that, but I might put like 6, whatever, makeup all the way down. And yeah. And you got other things in here too, like the V gain. V gain is like, basically emulating how this gear sounds, the actual like sound, the hiss, the whatever it may be. But I usually turn that off. Yeah, mix knob all the way up 100%, side chain filter. No, I don't want that. I might want to do a certain frequency. I might say, go up to 328 hertz or whatever like that. I keep that off.
Right.
But you can use that, that might be production thing or mix thing, whatever. But yeah, but there's a lot of these plugins that just don't, the timing is off. I've noticed. Yeah. So just make sure your timing is good. Make sure your delay compensation is good. Make sure the samples are lined up. Like when you do parallel compression too, you have to be concerned about that too, because some compressors or some companies don't have that proper technology or algorithm within that plugin to make sure it's not aligned correctly. So when you look at your, let me do this real fast. Let me see. Let me put my other. Let me see. Remove that. Let's see. Hold on. Stop. Let me go back here. Share screen. No. Oh, you know what? I could have. I'm doing the entire one. I didn't even have to do that, bro. Doink. Let me see. Let me go back here. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. To close all plugins, it's Control Option Command and W. So watch, it should work if I do it right. Y'all see that? All right. So I'm gonna have to remove each one like that. But you see here on my mix window here, I have these EQ points here. So I got my delay compensation. What I did was within Pro Tools, I went to view, right? I went to mix window views and I have my meters and faders enabled, delay compensation, track, color comments, whatever, an EQ curve. I like to see my EQ curve on my mix window too. So, but my point of showing this here is the delay compensation. So again, I took that away. We'll put it back on. It's again, you go to view, mix window views, and then hit delay compensation. And you can see the samples these particular plugins are taking up. It'll show you. Some don't have any latency or delay, but a lot of these plugins do. And even if you notice when you do the parallel compression thing, or they call it New York compression too, it will take up a lot. And you got to make sure everything is lined up. So when you push that fader up, it might sound phasey or weird or out of sync or off time. So you have to, some plugins do that, Again, just because a plugin is $300 or it's by this well-known company, don't mean it's good. Sometimes the algorithm or whatever science they have within that particular software is just not good. So you gotta be aware of that. Listen to your ear, use your eye, look at your information, your data here that Pro Tools provides, and yeah, you just do it like that. I just want to put that out there on that one, yeah. But yeah, man, I still got to work on that. Yeah, I just want to show y'all those techniques of that. Any more input output questions on
that was a lot of sauce right there. My little minor sauce, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing that would get your stream taken down or nothing,
Right.
But
Right. Yeah, we keep it real. Yeah,
I'm definitely taking some pointers from that. For sure.
Well, I took some pointers, from you,
Sure.
And then we on these other channel videos, we're gonna say, hey, I got this from Sutton. Some people just, man, I don't know. I give credit where credit's due. I'm gonna say it like that, brother. I don't, I ain't got to be
all the time.
I ain't got to be the biggest and best in the room.
Yo, did you know when you import audio, you know how you have to convert it?
Yes.
So how do you convert it?
So I'm gonna hit if I heard your question correctly. So if I'm getting like a session or something like that, or if I'm pulling in a track or something like a track, like let's say I'm pulling in
a beat. Let's say you're pulling in a beat.
Right. I'll hit Shift Command I, right? I'll put that track in, and then it goes to that menu. And then when you say convert, you're saying like whatever sample rate it is.
Yeah. So like you can't just like add or copy. You can only convert. So
right.
Remember back in class, I told you it was a Command C.
Right.
I just realized you could just double click that shit.
Hold on. What do you mean? Hold on, you're blowing my mind here. What do you mean?
Literally.
Hold on. What?
Literally, just like you see the name of the beat, double click that, and it converts. Okay. That's it.
Are you fucking serious? I mean, are you serious?
I'm over here highlighting, pressing Command C.
Oh my god.
Or going down to hit convert. You could just double click, bro. I was like, what? Shout out Corey. He put me onto that. So
Do you mind bringing up your
I got you.
All right. My bad. Yeah, because let me write that down, man. See. Yeah, y'all got a treat. Y'all got a treat today, bro. Let me see, man. That's crazy. Like, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but even though this is my first live on here, thank you for joining me again. Take the time out your day on here, Don. But I'm gonna be real. Again, I'm not getting to that, but we dropped some. Yeah, let's see that, bro.
Some of that good.
Yo, this is like one of the best out there, bro. And there's other good channels too. There's a guy, I forgot the channel's name, but he's got a good channel. He does mainly rap and hip hop. What is his name? Anyway, he used to have like longer hair, cut his hair and shit like that. And he does stuff with like Help Me Devon and people like that.
Oh, I met Devon.
Okay, how was that?
Yeah, he was cool, bro. He's mad cool.
Okay.
Like the energy on the video is the same in person.
Okay.
Like, he's very cool, bro. He's very cool.
Well, that's
I didn't mean to cut you off though.
Nah, you didn't cut. That's the goal because they have a podcast too.
Yeah,
it's like three of them. It's like him and some other two dudes. I don't know their name, but they'll talk about a subject and within audio and whatever. And that's the goal with this. Bringing people like yourself and whatever. And who else? Sam. We got to get Sam on here too. All that kind of stuff like that.
Wavy Wayne.
I do. I don't know him, but I know his channel. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Quad one day too, but I wasn't there though. But
okay.
Yeah, because Quad be doing like events, like audio events. Some people come, they show their products and stuff.
Okay.
It's just like a whole room of like engineers, bro. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm sharing my screen though.
All right, let me put this up here. All right.
So I'm gonna just do it the regular way. So import.
Why is it doing? Okay, there.
Import audio.
Okay.
I'll bring this over. Go to my downloads.
So your session is in. So let's say that particular track is in 44.1, right?
Right.
And your session is in 96.
So let's say I want to import this.
Okay.
I'm gonna just double click, and look, it converted. Instead of me having to, yeah. So I'm gonna start back. So import and go back to my downloads. So let's say it's this Juice WRLD track.
Right.
So let's say I just click it one time. Then I have to go down and then click convert.
Okay.
I know this menu looks different from yours, but it's the same thing.
You got Pro Tools 8 or something.
Yeah, I got some old shit.
I got 12. Mine's old too. 12 in terms of what's going on out there.
Then I have to go down and hit convert.
Okay. Yeah.
But to save that 1 second, I could just, let's say it's this one, double click, and it's converted.
Okay.
And then done. Use current folder. Then it's gonna come into the clip list.
Right.
Remember, by the time I click enter, my mouse is already there. Bring the beat in. Y. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you know how to save a second.
Well. Hey. Always learning, man. You one of the best. Shit. So
right back at you.
Thanks for that. Yeah. Hey, I hope you all that are gonna watch this playback or that are watching this stream, we've dropped some good information. And we also, again, anybody that wants to, and I'll be contacting people here, but that's, like I said, the goal with this channel is to definitely link up with like minds. And we talked about Help Devon, Help Me Devon, or Wavy Wayne, and what's the other guy's name? Because I follow his channel, man. He has like he does like a lot of anyway, it was a skit he did, right? And he was like basically like if engineers were getting signed, like artists were basically, it was like an engineering like label per se. And he's like, yeah, you get this new chain, and it was a vocal chain per se, but it was a chain, right? And he's like, you're getting signed, he does a lot of skits and stuff like that too. But
What, he has curly hair?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget his name though, but
Yeah,
he's cool. Yeah. But just want to get with like minds and
light skin dude, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just can't. I follow the channel. I don't remember, and he does a lot of stuff with Devon too. So yeah,
He's into analog too. Like
yeah. That's why I was like, yeah, finally somebody is, like golly. I mean, I like plugins, but it's kind of like let's. And the analog domain taught me more in the digital domain. So if I didn't know what I knew over there, I just wouldn't be as efficient, with these plugins. And I wouldn't, So I say learn both. They're great to learn all the tools. That's all I'm promoting. But do I prefer analog? If you gave me a choice and said you got to take away all the plugins versus I'm going with the analog domain 10 times out of 10.
Right.
Yo, that would really put a lot of engineers in
Out
trouble.
of business. Yeah.
like that would, the SSL proficiency. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
That was a fun one. I wish it was longer.
I wish you started from day one. That's what I wish, man. Yeah,
They
exactly.
should have asked us to do more stuff.
Facts. Yeah, because we started at was it 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, and then I don't know, they was all over the place. But I guess they were just trying to give a taste of like every field.
Yeah.
So they had to make room for all that.
Yeah.
And then they had to fit into the finish school in a year or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that
get it.
should've
If
been
that's
longer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been. Yeah, and then we did I'm trying to go back. We did the Neotech as the first test. I remember doing that. I'm trying to remember what we did though. I remember we did like that headphone thing.
Oh, yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, bro. Damn. Did we do anything on the API?
Yeah. Remember me, you, and another student was in there. But I forgot what we had to do. But it was the API had the A, B, and C faders. Remember?
A, B, and C faders.
So like you could send the channels to like B.
Right. It was me and you and we were just talking about the dude.
Sassy.
Okay, I thought it was the dude we was talking about that went to California.
Ben?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think Ben was with us.
Okay. No, not him.
Finn?
Finn, yeah.
Nah, I don't think Finn was in it with
Okay.
because he was in he had transferred to night classes too. So
Oh yeah. Damn. Right. Okay. Damn. Okay. And then SSL and then the S6. The S6. I'm not really a fan of the S6. I'm just not.
that was the video shit.
Yeah, the Avid controller shit. Yeah. I don't really care for that thing first. I mean, I'll take it, but I don't really care for it.
We had a test for that too. Remember the sink or swim thing?
Yeah. And then the CD or something. You had to put someone to burn on the CD. I'm trying to even remember. Damn. Okay. Damn. Remember the cable test?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like if we didn't help each other on that, we would have been stuck there all day. Bro.
Yo, hey. Here's another thing too, audio. You have to help each other. Like we, yeah. And then the guy that was testing us, he was interesting. I'll say that.
Yo, I forgot to tell you on the phone the other day. Remember, like 2 weeks before we're done with school, he comes into we're doing a session. He comes into the room and says, I'm on the ban list or something. No book list.
Yeah.
And we had like 1 week of school left.
Yeah.
Like, It's like he wanted to just feel that power for one more week. Like
Yo. And what was the reasoning? I'm trying to.
I think because we didn't wrap up in time, bro. That was stupid.
Yeah, it was. You talking about the one with the I don't remember the name. The glasses, right?
With the ponytail.
Ponytail. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
He coming in at, oh, you're on the, yeah, I'm gonna have to put you on the no book list. I'm like, bro, I'm out of here in a week.
I remember that. Yeah.
I'm going back. I'm going across the country in a week. Like,
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, he was
great.
Yeah, he was interesting. But yeah, we got it working. We got a lot of hours and a lot of dedication. Oh, remember too, I was trying to check out this one microphone and he was like, you can't because what was it? It was something weird. It was like you because I did get put on the list because what was it? Remember I told you I had like water or something in there or food or something, and he saw the food on the chair. And then they put me on the list for like, was it a week or something? And then I was off and he was like, you're still, I'm like, no, I'm not. It's been like a month almost. And anyway, the guy, let me check the mic out or something. I can't remember, but yeah, it was some crazy stuff like that. Damn, bro. I'm trying to remember what else we did in that.
We slowed down one of my songs, remember? On tape.
Oh.
Yeah. I still have it. Yeah.
That was the most okay. We gotta tell them about this. So I like analog equipment. I like the Studer. Was it a Studer or was it a damn what tape machine was it? It was a Studer. It was a Studer.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. So I'm first using tape, getting acquainted with it like that. Don too, and something happened, and. There's a video of it too. I post. I should still have it.
I got it. I saw it the other day.
Okay. I don't even remember what happened because this is like 4 years ago. So something happened with the tape, and then we was.
I don't even know if you should say it. I don't know.
But we figured it out though. I remember it was something we got the other tape or something and put it on there, and then it's a way you gotta. Yeah, I ain't recording on tape in a bit though, but that was fucking fun, bro. That was fun. You had to be there, experience what I'm. If I had a video, I would show it, but y'all would have to be it. It was one of the most funniest things in audio history. I'm gonna say it it was the funniest shit ever, bro. Then we took the shit through
the. Imagine if they saw us, bro.
Right.
They would have turned red, bro.
Right. But it wasn't shit on that shit anyway, bro. It was like we probably doing them a favor, actually, to tell you the truth, man.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, just rewrite over it and keep recording over it anyway." I'm like, okay, shit, your song might still be on one of them tapes, actually.
Word.
You never know. You never know. It had some old stuff. One guy was like, "Yeah, this was from like 5 years ago," and I'm like, "God damn." Yeah. So. Yeah, that was. Okay, what campus did you like better? Did you like the Tempe or Gilbert one better?
I'm trying to remember which one I was next to. Gilbert was the one with the front desk and everything, right?
Yeah.
And the live room.
Yeah.
I feel like we were at Gilbert a lot. We used to sit in the middle on our laptops and do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then
man, we were dedicated. Like, yeah.
And Gilbert was closer for me too.
Yeah, also me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so was Del Taco, man. Yeah, I was out there struggling, man. I'm joking.
Man.
I wish I never bought so much food though. Like, I know there's food home.
Yeah.
But like when we leave school late, I'm like, man, I don't feel like making nothing. I'm gonna just stop and get some.
In and Out, fucking Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Everybody else was getting that Cane's. I couldn't stand Cane's, bro.
Cane's, nah.
I couldn't stand Cane's. Damn. That's one thing too. As audio engineers, y'all got to watch your diet. You got to exercise. You got to, I'm huge into the gym. Boxing and MMA and working out. So y'all got to work out too. We're sitting in a chair all day, not all day, but you're not doing a lot of physical stuff. And that's why I promote analog too, because with analog equipment, you have to get up, you got to move, you got to reach, you got to patch, you got to bend, you got to, with these digital things, you're just in this little cubicle or this little thing, just clicking all day. And yeah.
And take care of your mental health, because
Facts.
I done did sessions that was like more than a day long, and you got to be the one that's up while everyone is asleep,
Right.
because let's say you fall asleep, something goes wrong, it's on you.
Right.
So yeah, put your mental health first.
Yeah, mental health. Yeah, because you're in a dark room, smoky. It's a lot of low vibrational music. It's 808s, doom, doom, hitting certain chakras. I ain't get too much in this, but
And you start hallucinating.
Right.
You make sure you eat, because then you get so hungry you might eat a mic or something. Start hallucinating so much. Oh, that mic look good.
Yeah, because we've done a mix like that where it's like we just kept doing it over, and it's like you're hungry, but you're like, I don't care about this. I want to get this. It's like we're so dedicated. People like us in the industry, we're so dedicated to it. It's like we don't care about that. Yeah, we want to eat something, but it's like this mix or this whatever's got to be perfect.
Oh yeah. Since I got it set up at my house, like
Yeah.
I'll wake up, I'll drink some water or something, whatever, and once I turn on Pro Tools, like I'm not coming out this room.
Right. No,
Like-
facts.
And once I come out, it's like I'm stepping out into a different world, because I was already in another world.
Right.
It's a good feeling though.
Hey, well, I again, you can be good at something, which you are, but I trust your technique, and that's when you can find that in this industry and know people like that, or refer people like that, or just know people like that, or know of people like that. That's good to have. Like, I know if I whatever sent this person to you, like I know it's gonna be, it's gonna be good. So,
Right back at you, bro. Right back at you.
yeah. So it's. And then all those other things we did too within Crash, like the extra things like that. Remember that video thing we did? And we were trying to get the certs. We did the Melodyne, we did the auto tune.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember this stuff now. Oh man, like we were dedicated, bro. Like dedicated. I'm talking. We had these cards. And I still got them. We had these cards like this thick. Probably thicker than that, actually. We stack them up probably like this yay high. That makes it about yay high like that, of like 100 and something Pro Tools commands and questions.
Yeah.
And we're going through them every day until we take the test. And we were supposed to take that test at the one campus, and he wasn't there. Remember? Then we had to drive over there and take it. And then we were in the back while he's teaching the class.
Oh,
Remember that?
yo, we finessed that. Crazy.
Man, had to.
I'm telling the old boy next to me, like, yo, look this up real quick, bro. And he getting scared.
Right,
I'm like, yo,
right.
stop being scared, bro. He's not looking, bro. Just
Right,
look at
right,
us,
right.
bro.
You're right. And then he gave us like the B version. Oh, no, he gave each one of us different. No, did he? Something I thought he did weird. He was like, "Oh, this is the other version. I'm giving you all this or something." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Look at this. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but that's key commands.
Dude, I
All
remember
key
that.
commands.
I remember that. And then remember we were going over testing. You were testing me on the Pro Tools, whatever it was, 5, 6 or something like that.
Oh yeah, the steps.
Yeah, the steps. Yeah.
Repeat 3 times. Create a clip group. Rename the clip group. Oh, that shit.
Damn. You know what pisses me off though? I want to do that again, but I also want to finish because I want to know what was on that last thing. I want to pass, but I want to know like what was on that. And for them not to show us that, especially as graduates, like that's kind of weird to me.
Oh, I think you can still see my screen.
Yeah, I can still see it.
I think it was something like you go set up preferences, and then
Okay.
it's something here. It's something here in one of
Okay.
these tabs.
Okay.
That was the last thing, but I don't know what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that one guy that was like 2 classes ahead of us took it. and he passed it. I think he's doing a lot of live stuff now. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
like, yeah,
he wasn't trying to give away the sauce, right?
yeah, I didn't like that. I'm like, why don't you? I'm like, huh? You can't tell nobody. I'm like,
So now if I see you getting jumped, I gotta walk away. Like I can't help it.
pretty much, yeah. Or if I do a job and it's like, well, no, I'm going for this other, it's
Yeah.
weird stuff, bro. Like that kind of stuff was just, but it really shows, you get to see human nature, when things are, in certain positions, because we had to do a fake call thing, like where you're like a Pro Tools operator or phone operator, or whatever. You have to be like, all right, troubleshoot this, and I'm like, I want to know what they're talking about because I might need to troubleshoot something on the session and whatever. So I thought that was weird. They didn't let us either pass a fit, because we're graduates. I get it, like you're not whatever, but dang, that's crazy. If I ever go back there, right? When I say go back, I'm talking about giving a presentation or whatever. Laugh out loud. I'm gonna be like, hey, give me this thing y'all been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, bro. Like I want to know shit. Pay you money for all this, and you ain't let me know. That's crazy. Where they do that at? But you see Don over here doing his. See this is what I'm saying. Like he's like a boxer, like a whatever. He's always if the gym was the Pro Tools or studio, he's your top heavyweight, bro. I'm just gonna say it. Like he's like Floyd. Like Floyd Mayweather is always working out, always in there, bro. Yeah.
That's one thing. Look, so let's say this was the last line, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I'm giving myself space. I'm gonna start recording here.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the end of this line right here.
Right.
Let me make it easier. So right here.
Right.
So my cursor is already going to be here because obviously the next line is going to be right after it.
Right.
So let's say I'm recording. Let me make it more easy. My cursor is already here. Look at my cursor, right?
Okay.
So let's say he lays the line down. So now I could stop and just go like that. Right on point. I forgot to mention that earlier. So now if I zoom in, it's on point. The next line is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just another tip. Yeah. It just came to my head.
Because you have that so the pre-rolls on.
Oh, I use pre-roll. That's just personal.
Okay. Yeah.
That's because it depends on the artist. So if it's an artist I know I need to lock in, I'm gonna use a little pre-roll just to keep me safe.
Right.
But so without pre-roll, it would just start recording right where my cursor is.
Right.
But with the pre-roll, it'll start a little bit back. So this is my cursor is right here. So with pre-roll, it starts over here.
Mm-hmm.
Without pre-roll, my cursor is here. It's gonna start right there.
That is clutch.
So don't be ashamed to use pre-roll because I pulled up my template one time and one of my boys like, bro, you using pre-roll? I was like, you know what? I am, bro. I ain't using pre-roll. I don't care.
You use post-roll or no?
No. I don't use post.
Okay. Yeah, that's clutch, bro. That's clutch, man. That's clutch. I ain't gonna have you on here too longer, man. We're talking the back end more later, whatever. But when are you gonna have your own channel too, man? 'Cause you gotta bring that up, bro.
Yeah, I gotta
put you on the spot.
I just life be life, and so I'm working on a few things right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I'm just trying to figure out what works, But I definitely need a channel because there's no way I learned everything. I did all this, got in these rooms, and I can't put it out there. So I'm gonna definitely have a channel soon. It's just gotta take care of things in order first,
10-4. Yeah.
We gotta get Sammy in.
Yeah, let's definitely, man. Definitely. Sam was another person I respect, out of school and just in general. Yeah. Get Gilo on this thing too, man. That'd be funny, man. Get Gilo here, all y'all on here, man. Gilo. Who else? There's another dude that was ahead of us that I really, and I don't know how he's doing. I'm pretty sure. I think he moved to. Damn, did he move to Texas? I can't remember, but he was more into like He's more into like indie music and stuff like that. Anyways, I respected his technique. He was like me, you know, I can do a lot of bands, you know, rock, country, whatever, like, you know, stuff like that. But he was really cool. He knew a lot of shit too. I just don't know what he's doing.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. But I would like to get him on here, but yeah, we'll yeah, definitely let Sam see if you want to get on here and let him know. And yeah, man. Anything else you want to add before we get up out of here?
If there is, let's save it for the next one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, save it for the next one.
Yeah,
Because I am kind of just going off the top, you know, like whatever comes to mind. Because I know there's a lot more stuff that we both can say.
Mhm.
You know, it just has to be in the moment. So I'll save it for the next one though.
Well, as the channel gets bigger and then you make yours, you know, we're gonna have people call in, whatever. I'm gonna get Zoom too, so I don't have to keep changing the stereo thing, the echo cancellation to mom. That's aggravating. Zoom is so much more musician, you know, friendly. You don't have to do all this kind of stuff and all this, you know, clicking and routing and stuff like that. Yeah, man, this was a great podcast here. Sorry about the explosion there. I don't know what happened earlier, but yeah, this has been a good podcast here. We'll do this coming soon. See anything else I want to add on here? Oh yeah, your social medias. You want to put anything out there like that, man? They can find you where they want to contact, get engineering, mixing, tracking.
For sure. I'm mostly active on Instagram. You can follow me at b.don. That's with b.donn. I'm on all streaming platforms at capital BDO triple N. And yeah, that's about it. That's mainly what I'm active on is Instagram. So if you shoot me a DM, you got any questions, I'm definitely gonna respond. So
yeah,
don't be shy.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all go out there, like, subscribe, check out Don's music, Spotify, Apple, all the platforms. I don't like Instagram. I like Twitter or X and YouTube. I'm really trying to get off these Instagrams and whatever. I really don't like that stuff because, you know, we talked about this. I'll go on there, I click one thing, I can say too much. I click one thing and it's just that. And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to chill.
I wish.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I wish I don't have to use it, but
yeah.
You know, it helps. But I hate social media as a whole, but
I can't stand it, bro.
I gotta use it though, you know.
Because if I log on my It Is the Gear right now, when I go to my Explorer page, I'm not seeing gear. I'm seeing, you know, the other gear. So I don't, you know, I'm not, you know, that's too much distraction, bro. Way too much, bro. It ain't worth that.
Right.
Overstimulation, and then you know you gotta do something about it. I'll just keep it there. Right.
I'm already knowing, bro. I already know.
You know, you and I, we don't promote computers. We promote the analog domain, especially in that. You know, I'll just you know, all that other. You know, I like the computers in this section, but the other stuff, nah. We want the real. We want the real LA 2, not the fake one.
We trying to, you know, be able to smell the gear, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
I want the gain. I want all the way up. I want to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to physically patch. You know.
Right. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Hey, yeah. But yeah, man, I'm gonna hit you soon, man. After here, man. Thanks for coming on here, man. I'm gonna end it here for now. Much respect to you all. I think we got 2 people in the room here, but we're gonna keep going here. Much respect to y'all watching there that's watching, and you know, play this back. There's been some good notes in here. Don offered some good information, and y'all keep doing what you're doing. You got any questions, concerns? Let us know. And Don, peace out, brother.
All right, peace out, bro. Nice to meet.
All right, cool.